Yeah. 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 Do 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 do. Sup, Tony? How you doing, fella? How you doing? No. Sabe. Sabe. It's all saved. Alright. Now go to the shop and pick up a header. I don't know why the John Deere don't have, well, the S7, the X9 I don't know. The S7 does not have front wheels, it's all crawlers. I want front wheels. I want New Holland. This guy, that's me. It's me, I got 2 thumbs, and I'm this guy. This guy. Hey, we're gonna be visiting you tomorrow night, KT. We're gonna be rolling in St. Joe. Windows up, doors locked. Why can't I do this? Hello? What? Incarnation? Can I really not connect to that? Can I connect to it with the international? I'll buy another. I guess I could try the Dodge too. Where's the international at? I was under trucks. You will see my workplace. Oh, is it in the game? Can I run into it? Give you a couple days off? No, because I'm a nice guy. Just ooh, that is so ugly. If it was black, maybe. I dig it. Can you dig it, sucker? Dun, dun, dun. Boom, 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 dun, dun, dun. Yeah, we're right next to the Pony Express Bridge that goes south Missouri River. Oh Lord. Oh Lord have mercy. Can I hook to this? Isn't that big? I can't. Okay, well I guess this is how we're rolling then. Gonna do some of that there sorghum, fillers. I'll make sure I drive by in the afternoon and lay on the train horn so you can think of Master Toby. kind of an awkward spot to have this. Bruh. You're surrounded by trains all day. Well, you know what? That must be why you like Toby so much. Remind you. Go around. This is a terrible, terrible field here. This butt wipe's gonna get right up on my tail. Really, dude? Golly. Bro, what the... Oh, he must be fixing whatever chaos is going on all over his place for us. How about Sir doesn't add straw? And do straw. That the modded version from previous games. What happened here? I have no clue what's going on with this field. Jeez, dude. It's all different angles and what's up, Chad Glad? How you doing, sir? kind of dig this combine, not gonna lie. Is that if the John Deere had the S7 had regular wheels on the front, I would have went with it, but it's only got crawler tracks. Like, nah, I want the front wheel. I'm not a huge fan of the crawler tracks. I've played what, Farm Sim 11 through 25, and I never got into the crawler track look. It's only weird. We haven't driven it for a few minutes now because it won't pull the dang header trailer, so they got parked at the shop. No use to me. Well, you thought you said you weren't going to be around tonight.
Yeah, I've changed my mind.
Okay. You join the Discord and a little overlay and game lit up and it had like a little wavy hand.
Really? Is it new?
Yeah, with the new update.
When?
Like when you start up a game, if you're friends with someone on Discord and they're playing the same game, they'll tell you it's like invite the game or like how long they've been playing it.
What?
I think there's a way you can turn it off.
Even if you're not in Discord? Like say I don't have Discord open?
Yeah, Discord has to be open. So like when I started up Modder Pierce Customs or whatever, he was playing Farm Sim, so he'd been in Farm Sim 25, so he'd been in for like 29 minutes.
Oh, I think I might have turned that off because that didn't pop up for me. Wait, you shut down the server?
No.
Oh. Oh, that's weird.
I'm in it now. What?
I know. Well, I just hit start and it popped up and it just said like cannot join. Server's been shut down. And then.
That's weird.
Yeah, but I just did it again. It worked.
Started because it wouldn't show it up for me. It took me further so long to start streaming because I couldn't get in. It would take forever to load in. And then, like, all of our turn rate, like, Tony's place completely got just jacked up. You know, got giant hill through his house. All my terrain paints have been redone. I don't know. Was there an update?
To Farm Sim?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't think so. No.
So, that's been seeing building sold, construction calls, building sold, construction calls pop up constantly. Tony's got to redo everything in his place. Learn something new today. Can't play anything that is Blizzard or Activision on Game Pass. You can't play it on another console or account. It's got to be this exact account. So my wife can't play Call of Duty with it unless you either buy the Game Pass or buy the game. Because Blizzard and Activision require a third party, and EA as well, a third party launcher that does not communicate with Microsoft Store.
Which makes no sense because like you don't need that for the console.
Yep, console is super easy because all you have to do is log in on the console, make it your home account or home Xbox, and it anyone that can use that Xbox can do it. Yep.
I know, which is like this all boils down to like it's pretty sick that you can play like a huge variety of games and not have to like buy them and
I
download
didn't realize you brought that over.
Stuff, but like at the end of the day, it's still easier to just get a freaking Xbox and then do the Game Pass. Because like I still have it on my like Amazon list, and I keep checking the prices and stuff, and like I think it's just gonna be.
Yeah, well, Nintendo's ruining gaming with their announcement. You see, they're gonna be charging $80 for a game now, and you know if people buy it soon, PlayStation.
This is gonna be the new norm.
Yep.
Yeah, because everything used to be $49.99, then it was $59.99, now it's like $69.99.
Yep.
They're some games.
For digital, it's going to be $69.99. For a physical copy, it's going to be $79.99 per game.
Dude, who buys physical copies anymore?
Well, some of them you're going to have a physical copy because the way it works is.
But next gen consoles don't have CD things. Like they don't have disk drives.
Well, so the way Nintendo's going to do it is you have to buy a physical copy, and it's not even the physical copy is not even contain the entire game. It's basically a key that you have to have inserted into the new Switch in order for you to play. In order for you to play that game, so it's like your way of saying, "Yeah, I own this game."
But they're going to go out of business doing that.
Nope,
I was going to say it's probably
people are going to pay it.
No, they're not.
Well, I bet you. I bet people will pay it.
Not when you start getting
the new norm.
Not when you start getting tariffs on the games. That's probably what.
Everybody blaming tariffs, but these prices were. This is their price
no. I'm not
prior
talking
to tariffs.
I'm not even saying like. I mean, with inflation and stuff like it, it's no doubt that like in general.
Oh no, I'm just
prices
saying
for games are still going to go up. That makes sense, but I'm saying for the physical copy, like it's going to cost them so much more to do that, so they're going to have to charge more. And just like, what are you even going to do with it? It's so stupid. It's like, just wait. Like, eventually it'll come out because like that's how they make money. Like, only the select few die-hard people are going to be getting a freaking physical copy of something these days, and then they're just going to move it over to the digital platform just a little bit later. It's no different what they do for like GTA, where it just like comes out on console and then you have to wait like a year and then it'll come out on PC, but they're not going to not put it on PC because like that's where their money is being made.
Yeah, I thought earlier was like,
it's just a money grab.
GTA 6 is going to be $120 now.
I bet you it's the first $100 game.
Probably.
Like, guaranteed. Which is insane, but that's the world we live in, and that's why it's like, okay, well, the Game Pass seems like a better and better decision.
Yeah. Telex starts jumping up in price.
Yeah, because I have the what was it, the first, or I guess the second Star Wars game, like Jedi Master, Jedi Knight, whatever it is, I don't know, that came out like 3 or 4 years ago. And like I've had it on my wish list, but it was like it's $60, and I'm like, I don't really like Star Wars that much. It's more that it's just like an open world game. Like, yeah, now I don't have to take that chance and sit through like the 2-hour tutorial to the point where you can't return it and then hate the game. Like, I can just go play it. Because the Steam community, like the developers for games in there, have figured out that I'm sure like the return rate on their games is like so long, and they get the feedback of like, you know, this person played an hour and 59 minutes, or this person played an hour and 45 minutes and then returned it. And they're like, okay, well, if we make the tutorial last 2 hours, then they're gonna have to play through the whole tutorial just to get to the game, and then they can't return it, and we get to keep the money.
Greedy bastards.
Yeah, I'm just like, I get it, but like, I don't know. Well, since the pandemic, man, like, just like the level of greed, it's because they can get away with it. That's the thing. Because you know, one of the things I don't like about the gaming community is like they just have so much loyalty to these things. But if everyone decided, like, hey, GTA 6 is going to come out, but it's going to be $100. If the whole world decided, like, that's too much, and nobody bought it, they'd be forced to drop the prices, like they have to, in order to not take a hit on it. But no one's going to do that. Pissing me off. Like, I can understand
day one.
I know. Like, I can understand certain businesses, like, where you're never gonna, like, boycott it. Like Amazon. People are trying to boycott Amazon, and it's just like, dude, their shit's... You can get shit so much cheaper anywhere else, and you can get it in, like... Like, I ordered, like, I had a, like, an order going for Amazon. It was, like, to start my new job, and I was like, oh, I need some like undershirts. Like I haven't had to like dress nice in the office for a long time. My undershirts are like literally 20 years old, so we get those and some new socks. And like I use for my face wash, I use Proactive, and I was like, I gotta get more of that anyway, so I'm gonna bundle that in there and all this stuff. And then I just forgot to place the order because I was like, I'm missing something else. I never did it, but then I realized like I desperately needed face wash. So like Wednesday morning, I took a shower and I was like, shit, I don't have my face wash. Got out of the shower, ordered the face wash stuff, and it's like, oh, you can get it here between like 6 and 10 a.m. And I looked at my watch and it's like 5:45, and I was like, okay, we'll see what that does. Like I can literally get it the same day, and not only that, I can get it within like potentially like 3 or like 2 hours. And sure enough, the thing showed up at like 8 o'clock. And I was like, damn. It's like you're not. How do you boycott that? People have tried to boycott Amazon. It's not going to happen. But they have the reverse problem. Like they're undercutting the competition. These people are going out and just like overcharging the competition to be like, oh yeah, well you sold that at $70. Watch what we can do to sell it for $80.
Mm-hmm. Because
all the dum-dums out there are like, new game, I have to get it day one. And then
the only reason why Nintendo stays in business is Nintendo fanboys. There's the only place you can get Mario. So all these Mario fanatics, that's where they go. They have no other option. But the level of gameplay and graphics and all that, way lower on the Switch than you are on Xbox and PlayStation.
Well, it's because they don't go for realistic.
PlayStation are looking at and like, hey, they're charging $80. We could get away with $100. And that's what they're gonna do.
And they're gonna ruin it. And it's like, listen, I was telling my wife the other day, I was like, it's so tough to go, like, do anything these days because, like, literally everything sucks. Everything sucks. And, like, this is one area of my life where I like, can just unplug and relax, and it's like, don't ruin this for me, please. Because, like, I'm not gonna pay $100 for a game.
Nope.
Like, never. Even if it's GTA 6. Like, I'm not gonna do it. And that's essentially just gonna end gaming for me. Because I, like everybody else, like, would really want to play GTA 6. And you're gonna deny me that? Then, like, it's not gonna make a difference, but, like, I'm gonna boycott the system. The whole thing. Like, screw you, Steam, for allowing it. Screw everybody.
Yeah, but you know, everybody, like, you say that, but there was a bunch of people who said the same thing when games were $50 and they raised them to 60. And same thing when it went from 60 to 70. Everybody said the same thing, but they ended up paying that price anyway.
Yeah, but I'm not buying the games at that price.
But I'm saying we all have that mentality when it starts, and then they jack the price, and these people still end up paying it. So,
right, I know, and it's the majority of people that do, which is the problem. And it's like, listen, I just gave an example of, like, one game that came out that was $60 that I just didn't buy because, like, do I want to play it? Yeah, I really do, but, like, I'm not gonna pay. I don't remember the last game I paid $60 for. Right, Hogwarts Legacy.
Yep, I think that's. Well, I paid more because I got it early deluxe edition, but
that's, yeah, I think that's the last one I paid full price for. And, like, 1,000% worth it. Like, and if they charge the same price for the new game, I will. But if they're gonna charge like $80 for it, no. Nope, I'll just wait for it. Like, because it's not like I'm gaming every day. You know, I'm only gaming like 3 days a week if I'm lucky. And just for like a few hours. So, like, I can easily have like a stockpile of games that I can always play. So I'm not gonna go get that, and it's not like I can sit there for, 48 hours straight just to play the game as soon as it comes out. I don't have time for that. So I'll get it in like a couple of years when it goes on sale. And by then my computer won't be able to run it. So I'll spend the money on getting computer stuff.
All that money I save by not buying games, I get to spend on upgrading my PC. Winning.
Yeah. I mean, Nintendo peaked at 64. Sorry. Was it?
You're not wrong. You are not wrong.
Like, everything else has just been, like, just total shit. I had one friend.
The reason why
One friend
Nintendo
at a game.
stays in business is Mario and Pokemon. That's the only thing that keeps Nintendo relevant.
And it's mostly Pokemon.
Yeah, yep.
I mean, when's the last Mario game they came out with?
I mean, they constantly come out with Mario Party, Mario Kart.
It's the same thing.
Yeah,
though.
it's the same
just
thing.
Like different
better
iterations.
graphics. Yep.
Is it though?
Yeah.
Like, once you get to a certain point, like they're maxed out on their graphics capabilities. Like, they're not even. And it's like cartoonish. It's not even like realistic. So,
Yeah.
like,
But
listen,
that's
I'm
what,
not.
that's what Nintendo fanboys.
I know. Like everyone had Nintendo 64,
Sorry, if he's here.
and then everyone, like from there, at least like my age, our age, like moved to either PlayStation or Xbox, and then like continued down that path, and then Nintendo was like, oh shit, like we gotta do something, and then they came out with the GameCube, and like I only knew one of my friends had a GameCube. And let's put it this way, like no one went over to his house. Because we were busy playing like SmackDown with the multi-tab on PS2. Way better. Or like Halo on Xbox. Like, we were doing those things. And it's like, no, I'm not gonna go play like
Animal Crossing.
I don't know. Yeah, or like what was it, Pokemon? No, not even Pokemon Snap. It's like what were some of the games they had? This is stupid shit.
The only thing I remember from GameCube
with like the little disc.
Yeah, the only thing I remember from GameCube is Animal Crossing. That's like the only game that was like notable on the GameCube.
Mm-hmm. If that, I don't even know what that was about. Wasn't it like taking pictures of animals?
It's like I think you like, I never played it, but from what I get from it, the gist of it is you're an animal and you live in like a little town, I guess. Kind of like a life simulator, I would imagine. I don't know. Anyone who's played it, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, like, and then I don't even know. And then, did they have anything between GameCube and Switch?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the Wii.
Oh, right, Wii. I had the Wii, but I didn't play it. Like, my parents got it for me, but I think I was in college at that point, or maybe like just before. Just before. And it's like it's novelty, you know, like it was cool because nothing like that existed before.
Yeah.
But like I found it super annoying to play outside of like the games that came with it. Like I didn't really have a game that I was like, oh yeah, this is great on the Wii.
Yeah, it's like if you knew someone that had a Wii, like literally, you just whenever they play Wii Sports, that was it.
Yeah.
And after the first few times, you're like, all right, this was cool at first. Now it's just kind of meh.
Yeah, because like it wasn't a perfect science. So you'd like Wii bowling, you'd like, you know, do the motion and it would just go right into the gutter from time to time, not like all the time. Just like I'm like, okay, well, this game doesn't count because like that happened. And like the Wii stayed at my parents' house when I was in college. Didn't come with me, and I only busted it back out. And then when I lived in Somerville, and that was to just keep my super annoying roommate occupied. I was like, you seem like you could use like an activity.
Have you heard of the Wii?
Yeah, I was like, do you like... Yeah, she was talking about it. That's right. She was talking about how fun Wii bowling is, and I was like, oh shit, like I got a Wii, would that interest you? And she's like, oh my god, yes. And I was like, thank God.
So it was, my stepmom's
like,
grandkids had it when they were living there, and when they moved out, they just left it, so she would hook it up for wherever the grandkids come over just to keep them occupied.
Yep. Like, I think I left the Wii when I moved out of there. Only because I forgot. It was like the one thing that I had in the common area. And But I feel like that'd be a cool, like if you had the Wii, that'd be cool to hang on to. Like for like a classic game console. Because it was the first of its kind. Like VR didn't exist back then. And so it was like the closest thing to it. It was kind of novelty. I look at it like the same as the like Duck Hunter. Where like it was a novelty thing. Like you could actually like point at the screen and shoot. And I think that was like one of the first things like that. I think.
Ooh. Oh, he released the vehicle. As it spawned in, so it'll cause the lag there. Dude, I swear my neighbors more entertaining than half the TV shows you'll find on streaming services these days.
What are they doing?
Well, right before I started streaming, they were out there outside having a shouting match, and apparently he's high on meth, and they were supposed to have like a date night where they're supposed to go out and do something, and she came home, he's high off his ass, sitting down on the front step. And,
their date night was supposed to be doing meth together. So
yeah. Well,
he did meth without her.
She also confirmed something that I had suspected for quite a bit. Since I'd say like the first week we moved in here, I told my wife, I think he's dealing drugs, and she outright confirmed it by saying, "You and your buddy both out here dealing drugs." I was like, I knew it. I called it again. This is the second person who we live next to that I thought was dealing drugs, and sure enough, they're dealing drugs.
So like, call the cops?
I don't know if our cameras picked it up.
Well,
I thought of it.
Like, not even with like evidence. Just be like, hey, I overheard a conversation, and like I'm pretty sure this guy's selling drugs that lives next to us, and then they're gonna have to look into it. Because like maybe the guy's got priors. Like maybe he's got something else where they're like, oh, we know this guy, and that would make sense. And then they just, one day of surveillance, and you're good.
Maybe I should have asked. I mean, most of them know. Most of the ones that were in town. Well, there's the fire chief. He used to be the town police chief, so maybe I should ask him.
Yeah.
Him and his brother are both cops, so just like, hey, what should I do if I think but my neighbor's dealing drugs?
Right. Or if you have any of the guy's information, just like, have them run it. I know you're not supposed to do that, but like.
But yeah, no, it was.
If you can frame someone for murder, you can look someone up.
Yeah, they were just going on and on, and like I one of the key giveaways for me is prior to him getting motorcycle, like he was constantly, he'd go out and he'd walk out to like out of the apartment complex, and then he'd come back a few minutes later. And like my dad, he had Harley. I know how the people who ride bikes are when they get on the bike to ride, they're gone until they have to come back. Like that's how my dad, he didn't just go out for like a 5-minute ride and come back in, leave like 10 minutes later, go for another 5-minute ride. That's what this guy does all day, in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. And like he's running running drugs. Like there's no one who rides a bike just for fun leaves for a 5-minute ride and comes back home just to leave again for another 5 minutes, 10 minutes later. Like, that's not how that works.
True.
So like I've had my suspicions.
What's a delivery service in this day and age? That's pretty wild.
Yeah. Well, he kind of can't do it out here because there's cameras. So he's got to go to them. They can't come to him. There was random cars coming up, like come up, pull up, 5-10 minutes, and then going in random vehicles out. That's the same way the other guy did it. That's how I knew he was dealing as well. Just random vehicles show up, a couple minutes, then leave.
Mm-hmm.
So she confirmed it.
I guess it's
like, oh, I knew it.
Yeah.
What is that?
This is a pretty smart system, though. Outside of it being shady, that he's like leaving, coming back every 15 minutes, but like nothing criminal about that. Like the alternative being like he just wakes up and he leaves and just goes somewhere to hang out for the day, but he'd have to have his full day's supply with him. So if he gets caught, that's bad. Versus if he just keeps it in a completely separate place and just runs back and forth, distances himself from everything.
Not to mention they were really funny about having the movers move anything. The only thing they couldn't move was his safe.
Yeah.
So he had to have the movers help him move that. That's the only thing they like let the movers touch. That's a bit weird.
Yeah. I had the movers move my safe. I was like, I'm not carrying that shit. It's heavy.
This is like I told you that she has a Ford. What's the Escape? Oh, Edge.
Yeah,
Sorry, Edge. And she
Edge.
They got to arguing one day, and she just threw it in reverse, ran into his Harley, and then took off. Like this is like soap opera entertainment level shit going on out here.
There's some trailer park trash shit going on there.
Not to mention the guy. So we had everybody got a note posted on the door talking about how if the person's not on the lease, they can't stay more than 14 days out of the month. And they've had some guy staying with them. And every time I see this truck, I literally think of that Johnny Cash song. I build it one piece at a time, because every part of the truck's a different. Like it's got a green. The left side of the bed is green. The door's brown.
Every fender is
He literally built it one piece at a time.
That's what happens when you don't have car insurance.
And then it's almost like clockwork. Like between 6 and 7 every morning, he jumps in the truck and takes off. So he's long gone before the office lady shows up.
Yeah.
Yep. Which I don't get is they do this shit. Okay, they do all this shit knowing that it's lease violations, but they got a fucking camera in their window, so they have their evidence against them sitting right there, and they know we have a camera in our window as well. So like they're doing this shit and hoping and having these conversations out in the open like this, hoping that we won't speak up and say something, and we haven't, because I'm not trying to be like getting any drama, but at some point, like I have the evidence to just have them boot it the hell out of here.
Like, why wouldn't you just do that immediately?
I'm not. I don't want like it's them. Like I'm.
Right. Yeah. It's
not affecting my life currently, but if it starts affecting my life, then it's.
I know. Do you even, if you have the opportunity to like not live around that, like, wouldn't you want that?
Yeah, but what if it
if
backfires?
It were your preference.
That's my way of thinking. Like, what if it backfires and the office lady does nothing about it? Then, like, the office lady is the type of person to be like, we were informed of you doing this.
Right. So you just wait until you get something criminal on camera, and like make an effort to get something criminal on camera, then go to the police, and then afterwards go to the office people. And then they're going to be forced to do something about it. They're not going to be like, oh, well, it's only like a class 3 felony, so like whatever.
Yeah, well,
it's not that bad.
When we caught the maintenance man going through my wife's underwear drawer, we took it to the office, and she's like, it doesn't really show anything. It's like, you can clearly see him. He was supposed to be working on our kitchen sink. You can clearly see him run up the stairs the moment we leave and make a beeline to our bedroom. He goes out of camera at first, and he comes back, looks in the top drawer. That's my wife's underwear drawer. All right, like it's clearly on camera. She's like, it doesn't show much. What? It doesn't show that he's actually like what he's in the drawer for. Like you can see him in the top drawer. I tell you what's in that top drawer, but you're like, oh, it doesn't really show anything. So then I took it to the police, and he outright told me, the police chief, he goes, did he take anything? We said, no. He goes, my hands are tied there. I can't get him for theft. He said, did he enter the premises without having a work order? I said, no. He said, then I can't get him for trespassing because he has a work order. He didn't take anything, so there's really nothing I can charge him with.
I don't know. I'd probably just like go to the news with it then. I don't know.
Well,
like, they might take it up.
But I mean, the other office lady we had, this is before the property got sold to the different company. But like, he got accused of going into someone, like there was no proof at all, but he got accused of going into somebody's apartment when they weren't home, and they fired him outright. Even though I personally know the guy. And I don't believe he would go in with malicious intent. But he got accused of it, and she fired him. I ended up working with the guy, because after he got fired from out here, he was working at Walmart, not to mention his wife worked with my aunt for the longest time. And probably one of the nicest people you'll ever meet. But then again, wolves in sheep's clothing, you never know.
You do never know. That's kind of a tough thing.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just don't want. I don't see him doing what he was like having any malicious intent whatsoever. He's just one of those people.
Yeah.
What's up, Michael? How are you, man?
Yeah, I don't know. I swore, like, both my wife and I are just like my brother has cameras like inside his house for like all the main rooms, like, kitchen, dining room, living room, and stuff. And like, he does it because it's like,
I'm pretty good, Michael. Thanks for asking. Sir.
He just likes technology, and he likes security. But like, my wife and I are like, we just find it weird. Like, I don't know. Like, we each like our own privacy. Like, I would hate it if, like, not like I'm doing anything, but it'd just be weird if, like, at any time my wife could just, like, check the camera and see me in the kitchen or, like, hanging out in the living room or something like that. I don't know. And my wife feels the same. It's like,
your butthole starts itching, you're scratching your ass, and she's like, oh,
right. It's just
God.
Like, you ripped some serious ass at, like, 12, 13.
Just
You know, so
on
like
the bottom floor, you rip ass, and the
Yeah.
cat's on the upstairs, starts freaking out.
just like jumps up from a dead sleep. Yeah.
You scared the cat awake
But, like-
with your fart. Wait, how'd you know that?
Yeah. It's like, you know, with like our privacy, like we're actually not even friends on like any social media stuff. Because we just like,
That's a bit
you know,
weird.
we just respect each other's privacy.
That's a bit weird. That one you told me before, and that one I find a little bit, just a little bit weird.
It is. Well, I mean, the difference is like I don't really like.
That's like the polar opposite of these people who have joint Facebook accounts because they can't trust each other.
I know, but I don't know. Like I've never had a. I don't know. Neither of us really are active on social media whatsoever. Like I don't post anything. I haven't posted anything in like 10 years. And outside of like basic obligatory stuff, but we're just not active, so it wasn't like a thing. We just never did. But anyways, not the point. I just thought it was like weird having cameras on the inside of the house, right? But the more I think about it, and like with my like change in job, my ability to be home for things is like I'll still be home, but like I won't have like free time of just like in lieu of working, just like doing whatever the hell I want. I'm actually going to be working. But we have a ton of work that needs to be done, and we're going to be getting a dog.
Oh, you get a puppy?
Yeah, at some point this year.
Nice.
Yeah, I got to get a fence first. But
A privacy fence so Ma can't see what's going on in your backyard.
Oh, I wish, except he's my front yard neighbor, so trust me, I'd love to put up a big fence. We have a 6-foot limit on fences in town, so, but it would be a 6-foot fence in the front yard.
Just build a fort wall in the front yard. Not to
I
pay
wish I
my
could.
drawbridge for your driveway.
I wish I could. But like we're both going to be around less, and we need to have like work done. And it's like, well, how do you make sure that, you know, the people that are at your house when you're not there are doing what they're supposed to be doing and not like stealing shit or like rooting through shit? And it's like, yeah, the only way is to really like have cameras on the inside of your house,
Yeah.
which completely sucks.
Yep.
Because even like when we weren't living here, but we were doing work on it, we got security cameras. But like some days I'd have to come over here and work from here because we had work being done and stuff. And it's just like if I'm here, I unplugged all the cameras. And then before I left, I'd just plug them all back in.
Well, most of them have the where you can turn them off.
Yeah, but you can always turn them back on.
Man.
So if you unplug them, you can't go into the app and turn them on.
You are just one paranoid little fucker, I'm telling you.
The two of us are. And like, I don't know, like the world is, it sounds like old timey, but like the world's full of like Big Brother, like cameras are everywhere, and I think like your house should be a place where you don't have to be worried about that.
True. But you also have smart devices that listen to you anyway.
Right, exactly. So it's just like, why add more when it like voluntarily add more? But at the same time, like if we're not here and someone else is here, like I want to know exactly what the hell they're doing every second of their time in the house.
Yeah, I'm funny about that. I don't like people coming in when I'm not home.
Me either. Me either. I don't even like when my parents do that.
Yeah, 100%.
Like,
it was like when my wife was in the hospital. My stepmom was like, I can just take the young one back to you guys' apartment. I can stay the night over there. And I was like, you sure you want to do that?
Nope. I know. My dad was just like, if there was a day that he was able to like come up here and do some
to be
work.
fair, your dad needs supervision.
Right. Yeah. But it wasn't even about that at first. It became 100% about that. But like even at first, I was like, I think I'm just like, I could be there. But he started getting like, overtly offended at the fact that he didn't have a key. So I was like, all right, fine.
I guess it's just a difference in generation, like, because, like, when they changed the locks at my dad's, like, they immediately got another key print. I'm the only one of the kids that had a key to the house. And they're just like, they instantly had a key made, and they're like, yeah, if you need it, it's there. Because they don't trust her kids, and to be fair, they don't trust my other dad's other kids, because I'm somehow the only one that hasn't wound up in jail for stealing shit out of all the 5 of us. So they're like, yeah,
I mean, it's not uncommon.
Like, I didn't even ask for it. Yeah, here's the key.
I mean, that's the first thing, like day one. That's like we essentially came to the house like with new doorknobs and locks, and it's not because like we were worried about someone like stealing shit. It was because we just assumed like it's such a quiet neighborhood where everyone's old and trusts each other and stuff. Like I could guarantee you that everyone on this street, like the 20 houses on this street, everybody has everybody's keys.
Yeah, Mark had a key to your place.
For sure, like 1,000%. And I was like,
that's why he's trying to
no chance in
he wants
hell.
to get a new key.
Yeah, probably.
Did your camera catch him try and see if his key worked or not?
No.
Oh, for sure, he tried.
Right. Well, he probably realized, like, he probably figured out when we have the cameras on and when we don't have them on, and probably like, came over at a time that he knew that we weren't going to have them on. But no, if we had to give a key to anyone, like, we've only talked to them, not together, we haven't talked to them together once, but my wife, the only other younger couple in the neighborhood that lives, like, diagonally across from us, they're like a few years older, and I met him, or we both met him one time, and then my wife met the woman over there one time, and that's it. But like, if there's anyone in the neighborhood I'm giving the key to, it's them, 1,000%.
So
I've had one conversation with the guy. I don't know the girl at all, and like our conversation lasted about a minute, and it was like, "Welcome to the neighborhood. Oh, what do you do for work? Cool. If you need anything, like you have my number." And that's it. And I'm like, I'm trusting that guy with the key to my house for sure.
So the serial killer was nice to you, so that's the guy you're gonna give the key to.
No, he was the most normal. The cold day in hell when Mark gets the key to this house. This is literally the last person that will get the key.
You give him a key to your place, and he goes home, and he's like, "Honey, I think the new people I think they're swingers." Why do you say that? They gave me a key to their house.
Yeah,
I don't think it's normal.
No, it's gonna be the opposite. It's gonna be like, hey, they gave us a key to the house. You know what that means?
Hot tub party.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mark standing out his front yard. What the shit? You gave them a key to the hot tub party, but not me.
No keys. No keys will be given to anyone.
You never know. He may have already made a key. He may have watched you put your keys down and snuck in.
One of the neighborhoods getting a key to the house.
A copy made. That's how his son's gonna be watching you from the corner of your room one night when you wake up.
God.
New fear unlocked.
Yeah, like hashtag realistic nightmares. Oh God.
Oh shit. But you gotta give keys to somebody, because you got a special needs cat. What if you guys go away for like a weekend and you need someone to check in on the cat?
We have, like, my wife has family, like, in town, which is nice, because they'll just watch her, but like, so like they'll have the key.
So
Because our cat needs, like, it's not just like checking in from time to time to make sure that it's okay. It's like it needs to be fed in the morning. It needs to have like an afternoon visit for like more food and like playtime, just to make her feel like she's not being abandoned. And then like evening time is more attention and food and some playing, and then like just someone in her presence. So it's like 3 times a day, and it's like each visit's like an hour.
See, my parents' cat is complete opposite. They go away for a week and they're like, "Can you check
Well, yeah, you
in
have a regular cat.
just to make sure like
Didn't die.
she doesn't? Yeah, she doesn't like she's not alone." So like
Yeah.
I go over there, like I put fresh water in her bowls, make sure her food's good, and I'll talk down the hall to her, and she just dead nothing, not absolutely nothing. It's like, all right, cool, see you
Well, because they
tomorrow.
Like they know when the person that's there is not their like owner. They are fully aware, and they're not like dogs who just appreciate any company as long as it's like a person. Like unless it's their owners, cats just don't care. And like with our cat, she kind of does care. Or she's not gonna be like as friendly, but she'll at least, interact with anyone that's willing to give her attention. It's annoying. I had a meeting because my office isn't finished yet. I have to do another coat of paint. And I gotta put the floors in still. It's like freaking month later, still haven't done any of that. But I'm starting to have like meetings, like important meetings and stuff, and everyone is on camera all the time for every single meeting, and I'm like not used to that lifestyle either. But I can't have my camera showing like what my office looks like right now, so I've been like upstairs in the living room, and I just like have my laptop propped up on like several couch pillows, and like taking my meetings from there. And for the most part, my cat's been like fine. But today I was like in the middle of talking, and I don't have like much knowledge whatsoever about what we're doing. But I was like introducing myself to someone, and I was like, "Oh yeah, the cat's been good all morning. We're set to hold this meeting here." And then I heard like the scratching in the litter box, and I was like, "Oh no!" So I had to like quickly wrap up. And I was like, and that's all I have to say about that. And I just like put myself on mute. And no sooner did I do that, my cat just comes screaming out of the litter box with like the post-dump zoomies and like screaming, just like, ow, ow, just running around the house. I was like, oh.
Sorry guys, they're in special needs camp.
I can't tell you how many times I've had to say that. And my wife, I guess, at work the other day was like talking about our cat, and she was like, "Oh, yeah, it's a special needs cat," and her patient was like, "That's offensive. You shouldn't call her that." And then she came up with like a suggestion for it was like I forget what the solution to that one was or what she recommended saying, but I was just like.
What's it, like a cat that needs extra attention?
Yeah. It was like extra abilities or something like that. Extra ability cat. And like, she told me that, and then we were both just like, "Nah, it's a special needs cat." Like, it literally defines her. She has special needs, and it's like it's not offensive. Sorry. And like we can call our cat whatever we want. It's our cat. It's not their cat.
People are offended by everything you do.
Yeah, I was like, wasn't special needs like the politically correct term for like what was being used prior?
The R word.
Yeah. It's like we already cleaned that up a lot. Like you won't even say it. I won't even say it.
Well, I will say because I'll get demonetized real quick.
True, but like I just haven't said it anymore, and it's like because I've seen like wasn't it like I think we talked about this before, like Haley Deegan or someone that said that during a iRacing event.
Yeah,
and it became a huge deal because she was like on her way to getting into the Xfinity series, and it like set her back quite a ways.
Quite a ways. She's still not in there, is she?
No.
Yeah,
that's quite a ways. She was doing trucks, and she was about to move into Xfinity. And she was on a roll, and they just left her. Yeah, they just left her in trucks, and now I don't even think she's full time anymore.
Yeah, speaking of NASCAR, screw Lamar Jackson even more. Like Lamar Jackson will just get bent. Just absolutely.
Well, you think he's comparing himself to Michael Jordan?
Well, you saw that he blocked Dale Jr.'s copyright for the stylized, the DEI stylized number 8. He filed for a copyright, and he's like, "I don't want to be associated with Dale Jr." It's just like, you think you would be associated with Dale Jr., not the other way around. Like, who's more iconic? Like, you're not even the like second most iconic person to wear the number 8. Like, what is your deal, man? You're not that great. He thinks he is the absolute star.
Win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, the person I heard, he was like, regular season hero, postseason flop, Lamar Jackson.
Well, that's just Dale Jr.
True. Well, I mean, he wasn't even a regular season hero. He won some races. Because he might have been in contention for a couple, but he never like stood a real chance of a championship.
It's called nepotism.
It's called he didn't need it. He's already the most popular driver.
Right. Well, that's what I was saying about, like, that was the issue I had with Chase. I still, to this day, even though he's won a championship, like, okay, I have to give this up, but I still don't. Is that, like, he wins most popular driver every year, and it's just like, well, yeah, because of his dad. Like, if he didn't have the same last name, like, he wouldn't be NASCAR, like, most popular driver. Sorry.
No, I think he's still. I think.
No, I don't think so.
We're farther removed.
I think Truex was the most popular in my.
We're farthest removed from Bill Elliott being one of the most popular drivers ever all time.
Yeah, but you still
to Chase Elliott than we were Dale Jr. to Dale Earnhardt Sr.
The only people that watch NASCAR these days are the people that watched Bill Elliott race.
I don't know. A lot of them don't even watch it anymore.
I barely watch it, and I was big into it for a long time, and I don't even give a shit about it anymore. I watch it every week because, like, out of tradition, and I feel like I have to. But, like, I don't like watching them. It went from us watching it every week. Like, I would make a whole day of it. I'd go get, like, steak tips, and I'd go, like, grill outside, and I'd watch the race. I'd get hammered drunk. And it went from that to, like, you know, we both do our stuff on Sunday. I record the race, and then it's like Sunday night when we start watching it, and then, like, you know, my wife's gotta, like, do laundry and get ready for the work day. So, like, she gets up, and I'm just, like, on my phone, not paying attention, and then we just fast forward to the end of the race to see who won.
You could always just check online, right?
Yeah, but you kind of want to see if there's, like, anything good that happens.
But I used to watch NASCAR when Bill was driving, before he switched back to the number 9, when he was in 94, he was my favorite driver. And I could get, like, I tried, not long after you started hanging out with us, to watch a race when they were in Dover one year, and I was like, this shit sucks. This whole staging system, that's so stupid.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I don't really understand it. Maybe now it's just because I'm old and I have the mentality of, like, someone in their 70s, but, like, I don't know. Like, I understand the need for change to keep a product from becoming stale in certain sports. Like, baseball needed the changes. They needed a pitch clock. You can't do baseball for 4 hours straight because it's already slow enough speed. So, like, no one's going to watch a whole game. Pitch clock, great. I watched the Red Sox game, like the home opener today, and I was thoroughly pissed off, and I turned it off. Because now they're allowed to, they have challenges. You can challenge a play. Yeah, and so there was a potential, like, fan interference call, which it looked like guy went over, caught the ball in the stands, but he was like, a fan was originally going for the ball and saw that the guy was coming and backed off. There was a slight collision, but it wasn't anything that was impeding him because there was a runner on third who tagged up and scored, and he threw it home. But he was immediately pointing to the fan and calling them, was just like, "Oh, it's interference, it's interference." And then St. Louis challenges the play because the ump called fan interference on the field. He called that. And then St. Louis challenged, and they went back. It literally took 15 minutes for this challenge. And they come back, and they're like, well, So we're gonna say that it wasn't fan interference, but like in either scenario, the run scored. So like the only thing about this is that St. Louis didn't lose their challenge, so they still have one. And it's like you took 15 minutes to just get to the same point, only for the sole fact that St. Louis gets to keep their challenge. It was like, what a waste of time. Like, completely offset the pitch clock time savings. So, like, I don't understand. But, outside of that, the changes that they're making to the sports, it's like no one asked for it, and like no one was complaining about it. So why are you making these changes?
Well, I think NASCAR's biggest problem is they overcorrected into the politically correct, and their like target fan base was not politically correct. So therefore,
Right.
they
were
lost
trying to cater to
their
the masses.
yeah. They tried to reach outside their target fan base and just killed the fan base that they had.
Yeah.
Same way with wrestling. Like, look at what WWE did. They went from the Attitude Era to the Ruthless Aggression Era to the PG era, and in many ways it hurt their product. And then AEW come along and they were a little bit more edgy, so WWE got a little bit more edgy. Like, they're dropping F-bombs and shit now, and look, they're like skyrocketing in popularity again. It's like you try to cater to people who aren't watching your shit, you're gonna lose the people that do watch your shit.
I know. And the problem with that is it's like, you're, I don't know, like your business is fine. Like, why do you need to keep getting bigger?
Greedy.
Right. And that's what it comes down to.
Everything comes
It's
back
like,
to greed.
Yeah. That's what it comes down to, is you guys are doing all of this stuff because you're like, oh, our profits aren't, what they used to be. And it's like, well, that's not because the quality's gone down. It's just because, like, shit gets more expensive. I understand that you need to increase, like, your revenues to, like, keep up with that. But, like, there's other ways to go about it. You don't have to keep changing this stuff. And some of the things, like, they have their hands tied, like the NFL with the kickoff thing. Like, their hands are kind of tied with that because, like, statistically, that was like one scenario where people were the most likely to have like hard impacts, and with concussions being a big deal, and like the NFLPA having issues with that. Plus, with the UFL testing that out and it being successful for them, like, they didn't have much of a choice. I hate it. I think it's dumb.
What's going on?
I don't even think the NFL with the kickoffs that they do this year.
I don't.
But,
I haven't paid attention.
Oh, so you know how they used to have, like, as soon as the kicker starts running, like, all the kickoff team starts running?
Mm-hmm.
And then as soon as that happens, then the receiving team, they all back up to the person receiving the ball, and then they run like 100 miles an hour at each other full speed.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, that used to be fun, but now they don't do that. Now it's like a free kick situation where, like, the kickoff team is in two lines 10 yards apart. The receiving team has that same setup, and those are like 20 yards apart, and then nobody can move until the person receiving the ball, like, catches it, and then they can run.
That's gonna be weird as fuck.
Dude, it's the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life.
I gotta
It's
watch
stupid.
the game to see this now.
dude, you should just YouTube it. Like it looks like Canadian football. Like it really does. Or it's just like, yeah, of course they do it that way. That's the Canadian way, where they have the goalposts in the middle of the end zone, you know. And it's like, but that's what it is. It's the dumbest thing. But because player safety is a big thing with the NFLPA, the league's kind of tied to making certain changes like that if it's for the sake of player safety. Now, some of the other shit that they're doing, I think it's just for profits or like cutting costs.
No, look who decided to show up.
He's been here for like an hour.
Oh, he has? Oh, my overlay's gone. Why have you been here for an hour and just now saying something?
Because I've been rambling.
And watching a TV show, so I just had you guys come back. You guys are talking about sports anyway.
Only for like the last 5 minutes. Listen, I've covered like the entire gambit here in an hour.
Yeah, we went from special needs cats, or excuse me, what was it? Extra attention cats to extra attention sports.
Yeah, something like that.
Nice.
Yeah, capitalism as a whole.
Yeah, have you ever paid attention to the credits for the other guys?
No.
Yeah, you should. I watched it the other day. I was like, I need something for background noise.
Great movie.
Yeah. I was like, I need something for background noise. And it's like, you can't go wrong with the other guys. So I was just like, I'll turn it on. And I was just like, I found myself stopping, and then I was watching it, and then I go back to work, and then I when the credits started, I was about to like turn something else on, and then I was just paying attention to the information they have going on in the background during the credits, and I was like, huh, all right. It's like the one thing they hit on was the salary of a CEO compared to a normal employee and how it's grown over the years. Just pretty much
the random stats stuff.
Yeah. I was like,
yeah,
wow.
Yeah, there's an actual message behind the movie, which is nice. And it's like this shit happens on a daily basis, and like the vast majority of people are just like not, like myself included, like, just not smart enough to figure out exactly what's going on. Like a lot of us know that there's a shitload of corruption, but very few people think that they can do anything about it. And like, if you care enough, don't go full blown Luigi people. But if you go through the correct legal avenues, you can get the same result.
The sad part is it's affecting, like, we can't just boycott products that we actually need, like eggs skyrocketing, milk skyrocketing. Like, we can't boycott that because we need eggs and milk. And,
no, I can live my life without.
I mean,
or milk. I can do fine. Yeah.
Oh, well,
so it's like,
despite
I'm
getting
not
your
worried
own
about that
chickens.
Shit. No, I'm just not worried
just buy
about
your
that.
own milk. I mean, you can't.
I'll adjust my diet to whatever. I can literally eat anything.
You know what?
And
How much shit eggs are in though?
You know
like,
what I ate today? I ate 4 of the Keebler fudge cookies, and that was my breakfast.
nice.
4.
Okay.
Wow.
Yep, and then I had a
Nice
toasted
portion
grilled
control.
cheese. Yeah, toasted grilled cheese for lunch, and that's where you toast the bread, and for the last like minute and a half, throw some cheese on there so it melts too, and then you slap the 2 pieces together.
Oh, that's what my cousin called the ghetto ghetto grilled cheese.
Yeah, exactly. It's in a toaster oven, so I like that. It's classy, you know. And Yeah, then I just had pizza for dinner. So like, I can literally survive off of anything.
I had ham and cheese. I call them sub. They're like mini little sub rolls. So basically, it's a ham and cheese sandwich. It's on a small sub roll instead of an actual bread, a slice of bread.
Sliders, man, sliders.
Well, it's not like they're not. They're like
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Like,
little tiny
they're like
sub rolls.
finger, yeah,
Yeah.
little fingerlings, but
Yeah.
for buns.
Yep. And
Yeah, it's like a slider.
and then we had steak and mini potatoes for dinner.
Chris, I won't tell you what I had for today. You
That's all I
probably
had.
told me you got a hospital.
Well, you probably eat like 5 meals a day, so
No, no, like 2 and some snacks.
how? Wait, you? I said 5. You said and then you go to 2. Right, you get up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
I know you're supposed to eat 5 times a day, but I don't.
Are you?
At least
Look at
Okay,
Mr.
doctor,
Fancy
they do
Pants Rich
recommend
McGee
that.
over here.
they claim that
5
eating
meals a
5 times
day.
a day, 5 and 3.
Like a king.
Yeah.
Jeez, must be nice. I can't afford that.
Most of the time I skip lunch because I eat early for supper. So.
I've been doing like, so my first week like in the office this week. I just like is a completely different group of people. Like we're all talking.
Oh, Matt, how you doing tonight,
We're
man?
talking about like actual like career
How's the
numbers people.
wildfires going?
I mean, it's my group of people. I like them, but their level of like numbers is a step above me. So like,
Triple what
I
you
don't,
do?
I don't. What?
Triple above what you do? Is that what you mean by higher number?
Like they're more numbers people than I am. Like I'm a numbers person. They're more. Of a
They're
numbers
bigger nerds, is what you're saying.
person. Yeah. And they're not like, I wouldn't even call them nerds. They're just like borderline. I don't know. It's just like a different breed of
Mathematicians?
person that I'm. Yeah. Where it's like they're almost like robots, but at the same time,
Just
like
down, really?
they
No.
actually do have like big personalities. But like they thoroughly love what they do. And what they do is just numbers. And I don't do numbers because I love it. I just do numbers because I can.
I did numbers in high school and I hated it, but somehow I was good at it.
Same. And I got a degree in numbers, so now all I do is numbers, and I don't like it, but I'm just
Who's Mike?
unfortunately good at it. And now I've put myself in a position where I'm like,
My mic? Is my mic that?
You need to be
With-
better?
yeah. But I'm in a place that's gonna definitely teach me that, which is good. But these are like numbers. So I don't know how they act. So like for my first week, like I make my breakfast for the week. I do like egg bite things, and I just make them on Monday. And so I would have those for breakfast, but like I don't know what they do for lunch, or like if it's cool to eat at your desk, or like if it's not, I don't know where I'd go to eat in this area. Like
Cafeteria or something like that.
there's a main cafeteria, but like I only see people that bought food in the caf
Let's go.
eating there.
Sounds
Like I don't know if it'd be weird if I brought my own lunch. I have to make a very good impression.
Oh, you're okay.
So
It was like it.
I care.
They sound normal to me. It must be mine. I was freaking out a
I
little
mean,
bit.
who cares if you sit in the cafeteria and eat food?
That's brought from home versus purchased from the caf.
Still.
People care.
Who that wants to buy food, and you can just bring it home.
Literally, they have a huge cafeteria and everybody buys their food for the day there.
Do you think
That's why it
college kids
exists.
do the same thing all the time?
I literally did that for 4 years of college. Yeah. I had part of my like paying to be in college included eating all of my food at the cafeteria. So yeah. This is different.
As I was, carry on.
So anyways, my whole
Chip,
point
chip, chip,
is I didn't eat anything during my work hours for the whole week because I didn't know. Oh, and I'm used to working like I get there at like 6:45 and I bounce at 3 for the past 4 years. And these people, just because they love their job so much, like they show up at like 8, 7:45 maybe, and they stay until like 6.
Good for them.
Well, that's what my manager does. And so I told him initially, I was like, hey, I prefer to like get here early, leave early. Because there's no set like hours. It's not like everyone files out of the building at 5.
I assume you do this time then, if it's over 40 hours then?
No, we're all salary.
Oh.
Yeah. So
that's why
hours don't.
Okay.
Well, they stay
Because
if there's like, yeah, and there's like a job to be done. And for me, I'm just like, I'd rather get the hell out of here and beat traffic and then sign in on my computer at home. They're just like staying in the office, and they're not really like that. So I've been like,
Nerds.
I can't, yeah, no. Well, I can't get out of my schedule because I'm used to being there so early, and these people aren't showing up until like a lot later than me.
If you're working on the
I
same
feel bad leaving early because they're all still there. So I've been working like 11-hour days because I feel bad.
Wait, if you're going, okay, for instance, if it's 10-hour shift, so just say it's 10 hours.
8 hours.
Okay, 8 hours then. If you go there in 6 and you leave, what time? 6 to 3, is that what you said?
I was doing 7 to 3.
Okay, 7 to 3. Who cares
With
if you
no
leave
lunch.
early? Don't they give you a lunch break?
I'm salaried, dude. I can just work whenever the hell I want. But like, I do 8 hours of work
Okay.
when I'm at work. Like, I don't take breaks. I will take a little bit to go to the bathroom or to like grab my food and eat it at my desk. But like, I am there working for 8 hours straight.
What's wrong with getting in early and getting out early?
Because these people like to get in late and leave a little bit later.
There's
Like,
afternoon people then. That's all.
They're
You're a
more-
morning person.
they are traditional 9-to-5ers, and in my previous position, it was like my manager also worked the same hours, so that was good. Like, come in early, leave early. But these people are 9-to-5ers, but I can't break my habit of like not getting to work at 7. But as a result,
habit.
I have to, otherwise I'm gonna be there from like 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. every
Well, why
day.
do you work this as late as them? You're getting in early so you can get out early.
Because they schedule meetings and shit for that time. So like,
We'll go in late on that day whenever they have a meeting.
I just said, like, I physically like can't go into work that late. I just can't do it.
Why?
Like, what the hell am I gonna do? Like, it takes me a half an hour to get to work. Like, so I have to leave at 8:30. Like,
You're watching news like an old person. No offense.
no, that time from when I naturally wake up for work, which is at like 5:30 at the latest.
Okay.
Like, from that time until I essentially have 3 hours, and it's like, what the hell am I gonna do for 3 hours? I can't
NCAA football.
Find something.
I know. Right? I can't physically, like, if I'm awake and I'm alert, and that's like I'm a morning person very much. So
they
like,
have.
that's my prime time. So
That's why
like
we
my
get
prime
after 10
hours are
PJs.
like, right, because I'm like fucking drained at this point. So like, I'm already loopy on my own with a migraine. So You're not getting the best of me.
Why don't they have more? So they have afternoon meetings, basically.
Yeah, and this just comes down to me just being like non-confrontational because I can just have a conversation. The problem is my manager's only been at the company for 3 months, so like he's learning, but I'm supposed to be learning from him. But I've been at the company for 4 years, over 4 years, but like not in this specific area. It's like
When would your meetings before?
budget shit.
Yeah. When were they normally? In the afternoon?
I don't know, dude. I just started this week.
Your old job. I was talking about.
I wasn't working in budgets before.
What were you doing before? You had to have some type of meeting.
Risk analysis.
Yeah.
Keep up.
Yeah, keep up, man. Risk analysis. Thank you.
Exactly.
I appreciate
There has
you
to be
remembering
some type
that.
of meeting.
Yeah, I'm a true friend. I listen.
I appreciate that. And no, Brandon, because my manager also worked the same hours as me, so he would schedule meetings for, and actually like the department as a whole, like that whole area, they did things earlier in the day. Like they knew to not have like any kind of serious meeting after 2 o'clock. So it's,
I mean, smart. Who wants to have a meeting when your day's winding down?
that's what, yeah.
I'd rather have it in the morning and be done with it.
Do you know how many freaking meetings I had? I had like 5 meetings today, and the first one was at 9 o'clock, and I'm like, it's Friday. What the hell are you doing? It is an unspoken thing in the business world. You don't do meetings on Fridays, especially post-COVID.
Apparently, it's something
You
really
handle
important.
you do your business Monday through Thursday. Fridays to just it's an unspoken thing in the work from home community. Like Fridays left alone because secretly we all believe that the world should function on a 4-day work week. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that makes the most sense. 5 days is BS. And guess what? Everyone can get their job done in 4 days. Everyone can get their job done in 4 days. 4 10s. 4 10-hour days. So you go 8 to 6.
Okay,
4
so you're
days a
not
week.
one of those people.
That gives you Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. No,
Why don't you work Friday, not Monday?
It could be a subjective work schedule, Brandon. I don't know. I'm not setting like
Why
global
does everyone
policies
like
here.
Friday off? Why don't you do Monday? Because you can do drink on
Personally,
Sunday.
I
And
love
Tuesday
my
becomes the new
Mondays.
Mondays.
I mean,
Okay,
Thursday
you're
will
back to
become
being
the
one
new
of those
Friday.
people.
So, in the Brandon, I'll just fill you in a little bit. In the community that had to shift from like working in office to having the ability to work remote for the pandemic, and then when they came back to work, it was 2 days a week, and that was the industry standard. And they shifted it from 2 days to 3 days. That's when the subjectivity came into place, because everyone, like the whole industry, when it was 2 days, they were like, yeah, it's Tuesdays and Thursdays, so you can break up your week. That's the standard. It shifted when it went to 3 days. It shifted from, well, you can do like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or you can do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or you can do Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. The vast majority went with either keeping Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or moving to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and having Thursday and Friday off. Nobody selected coming into the office on Fridays.
Probably I do the same thing. Monday,
Hell
Tuesday,
yeah.
Thursday, or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Not having to go in on Thursday and Friday. Having a 4-day weekend.
No. I do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, so I can have my Mondays and Fridays, so I get my 4-day weekend. That's
so you
it.
said you love your Mondays.
I love my Mondays at home.
Oh. I took it as you look your Mondays at work. You know.
No, I don't like having the Sunday scaries. Like, I'd rather postpone that shit until. I'd rather postpone that shit till Monday, because then it just blends with my general anxiety, and we're good. I don't have Sunday scaries.
Why? Because you're afraid of drinking too much Sunday? Is that what?
No. It's just like existing, like current level of anxiety, which is already high, and you add on like, going into the office the next day and having to deal with that, and like, I don't know, like all my alarms set, am I ready for the week, all that kind of stuff.
Okay, so this is, we can split this
So
one or two
it just
ways.
it just delays it by a day, and that one day mentally actually helps, because there's no term for Monday scaries.
Monday mayhem.
No, it's not it.
So I got a
'Cause
question.
that sounds like it's during the day on Monday. And like, I'm fine for being at home for that.
So, okay, here's a question I want an answer for. Yeah, that's gonna be rabbit hole. Anyway,
What the
you
hell
want
is
to you want to stand out for your neighbors. So you want the nicest mower, best one, just to prove all of them wrong. They want to stand out, but yet you want to blend in at work. Right?
Yeah.
Why?
Because my
One's
income
for work,
depends
one's
on
for
my
pleasure.
yeah, my income depends on my performance at work, and the better I come off, the more likely I am to get a promotion and make more money. Like, let's put it this way: when my manager reached out to me, because when they do an organizational announcement, they do like a profile. So they're like, you know, PJ's joined this company in 2020 and worked in this function, and he has prior roles and X, Y, and Z, and his experience is this, basically like justifying the reason why I got the position. And then they do like, you know, when he's not at work, he likes to blah blah blah, and
Take
then
care
like
of his
fill,
extra
and they
neat
send,
cat.
and then like manager sends that to me, and he's like, you fill out the rest. And I'm like, okay. So I'm not going to be like, you know, PJ's likes going to NASCAR races, and
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's
right,
that's
and enjoys
an
like
immediate sign like
grilling and criticizing his neighbors and like mowing lawns. Like, no, I'm not going to give any of these people
Oh no.
any kind of
Going for
insight
that.
to, yes, so I have a work life and I have a personal life, and
Yes, obviously.
I try my very best to never ever let those two intersect.
Never said to let them intersect. I'm just saying, if you work early, do your work early. If you want to be
Right,
an
but-
afternoon person, well, you gotta change it. If you're trying to change that much. I mean, how long have you been with these? 2 weeks? 3?
No, this was my first week.
Okay. Changing habits takes a while.
I'm not
No,
working
no.
longer hours, dude. I'm not doing it.
I'm not saying you work longer hours if you want to be an
But they
afternoon
do.
person. Good for you. You say they go in late, go in later.
I can't, because I can't, like, I'm not that kind of person. I can't.
You're missing
Okay,
the
so-
entirety of this
No.
conversation.
Yeah, he did. He missed it. What were you
You're just
doing?
giving yourself anxiety to yourself because you're trying to stay later because they are.
Okay, I
Yes.
have to agree with Brett on that one. You're giving yourself
True.
unnecessary anxiety.
Well, because I feel bad
It's a
leaving, because
double
they're all,
negative.
I'm also
Either.
sitting. You have to understand. like I'm also sitting there, like they're in the middle of month end and quarter end reporting. Now we're in accounting to the lay person. So like all of the month end close, like journal entries, like actually like booking numbers that go to this publicly traded company's like financial statements that has like investors and a board of directors and all that shit. Like it has to be locked in, and I currently don't have the system access to book these entries.
Lock it in.
Which is an essential part of my job, but it's just due to our system and like our IT department. Like it takes a while for all that stuff to get approved. I can't do anything right now.
But yeah, again, you're giving yourself a double negative. Right
I'm learning. I'm doing my best to learn as much as possible. So I'm like involved in a shitload of meetings, and like I have a good understanding of what's going on now, but I just can't physically like get in there and do work. But I feel bad because like my manager knows that there's nothing for me to do, but my two other coworkers are sitting there like frantically working, and it's like 4:30, and I am just like flipping through spreadsheets just to look like I'm doing something. And that's what I've been doing the whole day. So I feel bad like ducking out before they're done, because like they're on my team.
Yeah, and again, you're still giving yourself anxiety because...
But I also can't do anything. But I feel bad just like bouncing at 3 o'clock, being like, well...
Not my issue, bye.
Yeah, I was here 2 hours before you.
And I got my shit done early. Exactly.
Yeah, but I'm not doing any... Right now, I'm not doing anything. That's the point, is I'm not doing anything. So I feel bad...
If you're not
dipping at 3 when I know that they're going to be there until like 6 o'clock.
I mean, it's not your problem or your fault.
It's not, but I have to, in order to like, we have to understand what like business is. Like you have to be a team player, and you have to.
Well, yeah, I realize that.
Be like you have to have people think highly of you. Like that's the only way that you succeed. So if I'm leaving, it's going to give, regardless of the situation, like they don't care. They just see me as leaving.
Yeah, because they also don't see you going in early.
Right, but all they see is me leaving early, and that's the point.
Your boss,
he doesn't know what time I get in because I get in before him. Even though I told him what my normal work schedule is.
I assume you know how to clock in, clock out kind of thing, just to keep track of everything?
No, man, we're salary. So it doesn't matter what the hours you work. And so the big thing is, so like once I get up to speed, this isn't going to be a problem. But for right now...
Why won't it be a problem, I guess? I mean, because you don't work more hours?
Because when you're on salary and you work in a certain area, it's like as long as you get your work done within the required deadlines, they don't care.
Exactly. Why are you worrying about it so much?
Because it's not doing any. Just keep up with the conversation.
Yeah, I know. 1 week. Next week they'll probably get the shit rolling, right? And there you go.
Well, next week's gonna be different because like we're gonna be done with month-end, quarter-end. Although, well, up until like Tuesday or Wednesday, it's like Thursday and Friday. It's gonna die down a little bit, where there's gonna be time to actually like get trained and stuff. But I'm saying for like the first week and stuff, we're only talking about the first week. We're not talking about like going forward. It's just I felt bad.
But they don't expect you to stay late, though, even after your first week. Is that what you're trying to do?
No, to that I have no idea. But once I get trained up, I think, as like my manager said, Like, as long as you get your work done by the deadlines, like, you can work whatever hours you want. But for this week, it was kind of tough because I saw how hard they were working, because you're combining, it's not like month-end close, it's month-end close plus quarter-end close, where you're rolling all these things up for the 3 months in, so it's like triple the amount of transactions that you have to do, and they're all like, they all work in different things. They just went through a reorganization, so they're all learning new things, and they're all stressed out and doing stuff, and I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Alright, allow me to put this in the terms that Brandon will understand. Alright, so he's on a team, right? His teammates have certain things they have to get done, which he will be required to do so in the future. But he can't do that right now because he just joined the team. So while the process is going, he feels bad because they're sitting there busting their ass, and he doesn't want them to be like, oh, look, this guy didn't get do after doing work, leaving work early. He wants to, put that a good impression for his new team that he's going to work. Now, once he's able to get his work done, and he's like, hey, this is where teamwork, I'm getting my end done, I can get to split out a little bit early, so he can justify leaving early because he got his part of the work done.
There we go.
You understand that?
That's all. This was just anxiety driven.
Yeah, but
and why I'm just trying to make a good impression with like not eating at my desk, and like I don't want to be eating like potato chips when like their solution to things is to just like jump on a call, which I can't stand. I don't like that one bit. But they all just like jump on calls from their desks, and I just felt bad. And like people are also like working and shit. Like I went and got lunch. I was eating at my desk because some manager was eating lunch at his desk the other day. And I had like potato chips and I was eating those.
All these,
felt like I was
like
in a library.
A little bit quicker, right?
Eating potato chips. It was like echoing. So I felt bad about that, so I just like didn't eat potato chips. So it's about looking good, but it's also about just like common courtesy. But common courtesy varies depending on the group of people that you're with. So like prior to, in my previous role, like I could go microwave like a fish for 2 minutes and heat that up and eat it at my desk. And people would just like not confront me about it, but just like talk behind my back about it. And then I would hear about it at some point. So like it's vastly different.
So your boss knows that you come in early
screwed
and
up
leave early. Does the employees know that?
No.
So in my mindset, you're telling them.
I don't even know who I work with.
Aren't you a team? So don't you work all together?
Yeah, but like technically, like I have a team, but like we had a team meeting today, but one of the people doesn't report to my manager, so I don't really understand that. So like, I don't really understand if there's a team or not. But a group of people. But no, they don't know. And
isn't that going to confuse them?
Yeah, but like my manager knows, but I also know that one of my coworkers, our company has a bus, and so they'll do like, you get like a public transit to like the airport, like a shuttle system.
Yeah.
So they do that at our company, and they have like 2 pickup points.
I have to redo this?
And but the shuttle only runs like a couple times in the morning, a couple times in the evening. So one of my coworkers lives in the city and then takes the shuttle from the city out. So she doesn't even have the ability to get there before 9:30.
Okay.
So I don't think they're gonna even comprehend like my work schedule.
I mean, if you don't get your work done and show up when the meetings are timed,
the only thing I can do is like check in with my manager to like reinforce my time schedule, and then have him, to the best of his ability, like schedule meetings during that time frame. The problem is like now I'm working up with like CFOs of like the entire company and stuff, and they're very much on a afternoon only schedule. So meetings tend to happen at like between like 4 and 6 o'clock. And that's out of my control, because if the CFO
people
is just scheduled, because like when you get up to, I mean, we're talking like, I'm not talking about just like CFO of like the area. I'm talking about like CFO of the entire publicly traded company, like the bigwigs. And their schedule only allows them to just do like, you know, the budget meetings in the afternoon because they're busy.
He still don't understand.
I know. I was like, I have to give a presentation to the CMO, which is like the chief medical officer of the entire company, next week about what happened for quarter end, and I don't even know anything about what the hell I'm doing for like my job, let alone like the actual budget and like variances in the budget. But yeah, that's at 6 o'clock
all that landscape,
on Thursday.
Oh man!
I assume you're gonna ask your manager what to prep for. You don't have access to it yet.
No, I'm doing it. Because everything will be posted by then. So, like, we'll get, like, results, which you can just, like, export into Hyperion, which is, like, a software that does financials. Stuff. So, like, I'll have the numbers and stuff. I just don't know what they mean. So, that's going to be my problem.
You don't ask, or you just don't try to figure it out yourself?
I'm going to try to figure it out myself.
If we can check on our productions.
Whatever I can't figure out, then I'll ask. My point being, I just don't like working the long hours, but I'm doing it because I feel bad. That's all.
But once he gets to you be able to do stuff and he can justify, like, I got my work done.
Yeah, but how long is that going to
Yeah,
take?
but then I'm going to work long hours.
Anyway.
But I'm actually going to be doing work, yeah. So it's like, what do I do for the morning hours is the big thing.
Go for a walk or something?
No, because like I don't know. Like I leave my house by. Like, I'm in my truck every morning at 6:25. And I get to work by like 6:50. And every job I've ever had, I've always had that. It's like I don't know what to do. Like if I don't leave here until 8:30, like what the hell do I do? Like I'm still gonna wake up. Because if I set my alarm to like 8 or like 7:30 something like that, like I'm just gonna sleep. So like I need to get up at that time.
My Ford pickup.
Like I don't want to work out.
Why not?
So-
They claim morning workouts. Good.
It is the best. Yeah, it is the best for you. Like I don't know. I just don't want. I suppose I could. Shit. I suppose I could.
Then you don't have to waste money on that dietitian again.
Yeah, but then I'm just gonna be tired at like 10 a.m.
Well, you gotta get used to it. Either you get used to working late hours, or you have to find some type of common ground.
NCAA football.
You're gonna keep stressing yourself out for another 6 months.
I'm pretty sure my wife will kill me.
I don't have anxiety, so I can't tell you how it works, but you're gonna overload yourself and something so bad will happen. Theoretically.
Right. So like my blow off steam time, which is required, is like Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights.
Yeah, but I can only do so much because.
Not true, but like unlike me, like my wife, like sometimes she's like needs to go for a run to like blow off steam, or like go do a Peloton ride to blow off steam, and I'm like, at no point in my life have I ever been like, I'm angry at something, I'm just gonna go work out.
Same,
But
fam,
like,
same.
Where I feel like I need to work out. Like I know I need to work out, but I don't feel like working out ever. I've not once been like, I feel like, hopping on the Peloton and doing a ride. Never.
I assume you've already talked.
Where'd my pallet go?
What does your wife think?
About what?
Your hour
Well-
situation.
Oh, she works longer hours than me.
Well, I realize that, but that's.
Okay, maybe I should just
on a
keep my
daily
dog
basis.
back. No.
Yeah,
No, she actually really loves what she does, so it's not like work to her. Like she's helping people and making a difference in like something that she very much is passionate about. So like I give her grief for staying long after work, like longer than necessary, or like taking on things that are not her problem. And she doesn't see it the same way. So like she can't give me, or she's not giving me any grief about my hours, because
It's not
Even
the
if
hour
I-
issue. It's you're stretching yourself out of what to do.
no, she doesn't have
What
any
does she think
suggestions.
that she should do? Is what I'm trying to get to.
Oh, no, she's just like, you'll figure it out. What you're thinking of is like the therapist would recommend.
I mean, I don't go to therapists, so I don't know what they recommend.
God, you would retire one very quickly.
So
Find one that would stick around for more than a week.
obviously you must go to one. So what do they say?
I don't.
Oh.
I've tried. They make it very difficult to do that these days.
What
I used to in high school and in college. I went to a therapist. But like in the past few years, like when I've definitely needed that most, it's been the most difficult to come by. Well, because I'm looking for a certain level of qualifications.
And that's kind of impossible to find, I assume.
Yeah, because now all it takes is like an associate's degree in like social work to become like a licensed like clinical therapist. The qualifications are put it this way: barriers to entry are non-existent.
Wow.
You could go to college for like sociology and then take a 2-year course in social work and become a licensed social worker, which gives you the ability to do therapy.
So find someone that's old or has a lot of years.
Yeah, so
Hard to
like
find?
I
I'm
only
seriously
went.
asking.
No, I only went to like a PsyD, which is like a clinical psychologist that has their doctorate in.
I don't know
That
why I ever
field?
doubted the Dodge. Excuse me, the Ram.
Yeah, so that's what I'm looking for, because I'm not going to just like spill my guts to a random person and then have them give me advice, because they could be like literally anybody. It could be a sociopath. And also like I don't take suggestions from anybody. Like I have to believe that they're truly smarter than me in order to take advice from them.
I mean, some people are smarter than you out there in the world somewhere.
I know
Just
that,
saying.
and I'm trying to find them. However, given the amount of people that don't have the issues that I have, that go to therapy, it's all clogged up with, people that, suffered mentally from the pandemic. That are all just like need therapists now. It's just washed. Like it's an industry that people saw an opportunity to make money, and then they just went into the field just to make money. So, unfortunately, all the people that I have found, and that's within a 20-mile driving range, it was like 5. 3 of them don't see new patients. One of them kind of seemed like a creep. And the other one didn't take my insurance.
So I assume you've been to a therapist before. Did it actually help?
Yeah, a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
Just talking about your feelings.
Yeah, I mean, that was like, man, the one I had in college was a joke. So, like, the one that, like, for high school, that
Hello,
helped
Cody.
me
How you doing tonight, sir?
through a lot, because, like, I had a lot going on, because I was, like, at the school, but I had been homeschooled previously, and then I was going to, like, a snowboard high school, and I was dealing with, like, being what you would call like a jock without like being a jock, so I didn't really like everything that came with that, so I had a hard time with that. And yeah, man, it was helpful. Like, help me push it into perspective.
If I went to therapy, I bet you would just leave halfway through and not say a damn word.
I don't know, man. I think unless you,
If you find the right one, you'd keep them in business for a while.
yeah. And also,
I'm
like,
a quiet person unless I'm around certain people.
me
And I'm
too.
I mean,
you understand? I've had countless meetings with my new coworkers and stuff. They know nothing about me,
you know,
and I haven't spoken a word to them unless it's about something specific for work.
yeah.
Like, I don't open up to anybody.
Hey,
Yeah, there's certain people who I
live next
shut my
door to
mouth
my
to.
new neighbors for what's going on 3 months now, and hey, they don't even know our names. We have.
Well, that's a generational millennial anxiety that you're talking about.
I've had
there's-
like he said the other night, he was like, "Hey man, how you doing?" When I came outside, I was like, "I'm pretty good. How about yourself?" And he's like, "Pretty good." That's the longest conversation we've had, and only the second conversation we've ever had. If you consider that a conversation, that's to me that's just pleasant greetings.
Oh yeah, I was heading out today, and I was like about to walk out my door, and I saw Mark across the street checking his mail, and I was like, "Fuck that!" And I just like turned around, went downstairs, and just like did some circles for like 2 minutes because I didn't want him. He may have seen me. I don't know, but I want to make it look like I wasn't like intentionally avoiding him, but like I was definitely intentionally avoiding him.
I mean, it was new neighbors 5 years ago that just moved in, and I've never seen them or talked to them yet. So
Yeah, but
you have
you're
quite a
different.
distance between them.
I
Like
literally
500 feet.
our front doors are right next to each other. There's a sliver of wall that separates the two. We share a common walkway.
Yeah. And our houses literally face each other like 100 feet away. With no like trees and shit between it. But why weren't you the friendly neighbor, Brandon? Why didn't you go there and welcome to the neighborhood?
because I'm not.
You're not what? The friendly neighbor?
I'm friendly sometimes. Depends on who it is.
Sounds like you need a therapist.
You know.
Oh, I know.
To me, first impressions is key. If you do something that just hurts me,
Did you not hear the last 25 minutes of my rambling?
I try to, but it goes like a.
He didn't, but he's explaining the same thing. You are. He
You're
wants
trying to make a good first impression.
Yeah, but
Oh my god.
there's limits because you're pushing yourself to anxiety. I mean, that's not good for you. And
Well, I'll put it this way. If you want to make a good first impression, ignoring them is not the way to make a good first impression. I'll tell you right now, and the reason why I will give a key to those diagonal people over my across the street neighbor is because not only did when the wife came over and talked to my wife, they brought a card and a little charcuterie board with a wine bottle on it and stuff. And in the card, they left their names, phone numbers, welcomed us to the neighborhood and stuff. And it's like, all right, that's a great first impression. Like, they'll get a key. They're good.
I mean, no one has a key to mine.
Nobody else did shit. One came over and offered to let me borrow their snowblower, and that was a disaster. And then I've only waved to my other next door neighbor.
But yeah, a lot of communication with Mark.
My goal is to not have communication. By the way, this dude, oh my god. The other day,
Which one?
Mark. The other day, he was he had mowed his lawn, mind you. This was in
You
March.
guys already mowing?
Nope. Nobody's mowing their effing lawns.
Oh,
Okay.
we already did.
No, the grass hasn't grown. It's still dead.
Here it is. Yeah, it's going pretty damn good here right now.
Well, you down south now. Based on global warming.
Yeah. I guess.
It was like 30 degrees here 2 days ago.
Yeah. Same
Right.
here.
So, well, first of all, I had my next door neighbor. He fertilized his lawn 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Eh.
What's wrong with that?
I don't even speak
Because
my neighbors.
it was in
Exactly.
like the week of like the
My neighbors
20th
frankly
for
don't care.
March.
Yeah, I don't think
It's
my
way
neighbors
too
do either.
early to fertilize your lawn.
I guess we're on the same
I mean,
level.
There's still the
people
chance of
fertilizing
snow.
the farmland out here in the last couple weeks.
Yeah, but it dropped below freezing the other day.
But who told me is
It-
it good if I
So did he.
sleep?
It's all for nothing. It's way too early to fertilize your lawn. Sorry. You want late April, early May is prime time to fertilize your lawn. Before it starts growing and stuff, it absorbs that stuff. It needs to be fresh for when it starts growing. You don't want it
Fresh,
stale.
never
and-
frozen.
Yeah. Like, come on, Brandon.
That's Dave's way, you know.
You got to know that. But anyways, dude's out there, like, granted, he had a cool setup. He's got the John Deere with the spreader on the back, so he was just, like, dumping the fertilizer in and then driving around his tractor, and I was like, that's pretty effing cool. But, like, I was also, like, far too early, so, like, I called my dad, and I was like, what do you think? And he's like, nah, far too early. I called my brother, and I was like, when do you fertilize your lawn? And he's like, it's like a couple weeks before Memorial Day. And, like, they both have good grass. Like, based on my experience, like, we didn't start fertilizing until the DPW until, like, mid-April. So he's out there doing that. Anyways, the guy across the street decided to mow his lawn, to which I was like, I don't get that. He didn't do any fertilizing or anything. He just mowed it. And then he brought out 2 backpack blowers. Now he has one electric backpack blower, and he used that first. And then he took that off, and then he raked. And then he put on the gas blower. And started using that. And so why the hell do you have two backpack blowers?
That's just weird. I mean, 2
Right.
backpack. Okay, I can see that just in case one.
No, why does one
fails.
person need 2 backpack blowers? That, like, he brought both of them out. One was sitting in the front yard when he was using the other. Why do you
Well,
need 2 backpack blowers?
I can see why you have 2, but not 2 at the same time. No.
Right, why do you need 2 back to back?
I mean, I can see if you're wearing both at once, but yeah, no.
Why? I've worn 2 backpack blowers on multiple occasions, so I can't really criticize that.
Well,
theory.
answer your own question then. Why do you need 2?
Because in
He was
case
only-
one.
He's only using one at a time. That's the problem. That's weird. Now, when I had
Yeah,
2
that is-
backpack blowers, I had one strapped on my right
Maybe
shoulder,
the
one on the
electric
left,
one
and then
battery
one
died.
was set to a lefty pattern, so I had right and left, and I had both of them going, so I was doing like double leaf blowing, and that was awesome. It was a good time. Highly recommend.
Maybe the electric one battery died and he had to use the gas powered one.
We should have more than one battery. I mean,
That yeah, Phoenix. That's kind of the point. That's what I'm getting at. Is like, why are you using two? Like, if you want to use the electric one, use the electric one, but get the batteries for it. Don't just use it till it dies and switch over. It's not like this guy's poor.
Maybe the battery one's new. He wanted to see how it did, and he didn't like how it did, so he's using the gas one.
So then, why is he even using the first one? Why don't you just use the gas one? Like,
Maybe he
come
wanted
on.
to see how the electric one did. That's what I just said. Maybe he was
his
testing it out.
logic doesn't make any sense because he also has 2 snowblowers. He has like 2 of everything, and it creeps me out.
I mean,
He has 2 of everything. He
Does
has 2
he use-
lawnmowers, and it's like, who the
that's
f?
nothing
Do you
new.
think there's
Did
only
he
one
use-
person that does the yard work?
Did he use the two snowblowers at the same time? Or
No, his
had
son
both
used
of
the
them
other
out?
one, but they were at the same time. He and his son used both of them.
Well, that's nothing weird then.
Maybe that's his way of trying to get his son to come out and blow the leaves with him.
No, I'm pretty sure he hates his kid.
What about the mowers? Does he have one sitting outside and use the other one too?
He has, when he goes to mow the lawn. Granted, the only time I've seen him do that is a couple weeks ago because, like, when we got here, it was November, so there was no more lawn mowing. He tried to use it as a leaf collector, and that's why I'm going with a tractor instead of a 0 turn for leaf collection because, like, that sucked watching him do that. It's like, nope, that sucks.
I mean, I'm not calling myself out now, but I have more than one lawnmower.
Right, yeah, but you also have, like, a bigger property.
Well, it's not the property size, it's just whichever.
It's about, he's on, like, an acre. Right, and he's got a 0 turn mower. He can take that down in, like, 15 minutes. Why does he need 2?
Are both of them DR turns?
No, the other one's a tractor. But he doesn't use it for anything else. It's like a backup. Dude has like backups for everything.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but he's also... yeah, but here's the...
I'm not
like,
defending him, I'm just saying.
Don't defend this man, because he's also like he's also like he has an entire tool shop in his garage. Because he used to own a fleet of he used to own a moving company. So he used to bring the trucks to his house to fix. So he has like an entire industrial shop in his garage. So there's no reason for him to need like backups of anything. He could be able to fix literally anything. So I don't understand this guy. I think there's something wrong with him.
Well, the reason why his nephew didn't want to move across the street from him.
Yeah.
You just did. Now you get to deal with what his nephew didn't want to deal with.
I think I'd rather deal with that guy than Mark. Not that line.
That is Mark.
That is Mark.
Oh. Oh.
Right, that adds to it. I'm telling you, this guy.
I thought it was the other...
It's weird.
other...
And the other weird thing
How's
is that his son that lives at home is our age. Which is just weird.
Actually more common than you think these days.
Nah, yeah, I mean... Yeah, but he's also got like a history.
I saw people that hung out in high school that have yet to move out of their parents' house. Like,
No,
didn't move
I'm
and
not,
come back.
I'm
No,
not,
they have not left since high school.
I'm not blaming him for... I mean, look at how many times I had to move back home to Phoenix. Like, since we've known each other, like, twice. So, like, I get it. But I'm just saying
Let's
it's
just
just
top it
weird.
even more. Is my sister.
It's just weird living in the same neighborhood now.
My sister
Where
is
there's someone my age, like, living
55
at
years
home.
old and still lives at home with her mother. Let that sink in.
I understand that. I understand that. My sister-in-law is the same way. So I get that to an extent. I'm just saying it's
Hell,
weird.
the new rage is people buying these like huge chunks of land.
Oh, stop
put
it!
multiple
Stop it!
houses on it.
Please.
The family compounds.
We just they just approved that in my town. We had this one guy in the Facebook page, and everyone hates this guy because he's just like, F you, I'm about my rights. Like, he wouldn't even clear so outside of his house, like, he wouldn't clear the storm drain after we had a snowstorm. And he was like, it's flooding. And everyone's like, go out and clear it, dude. And he's like, no, the DPW should be doing that. That's their job. It states it on the town's website.
He's not wrong.
Exactly. I mean,
Just clear it yourself. It's literally at the end of his driveway.
not
Just
his
clear
problem.
it out.
Me, I would do it for just for the hell of it. I like doing that shit, but it's not his problem, not his issue.
It takes 2 seconds to do. Like, he's at the end of his driveway
Not
already.
his issue.
Snow blow it. It's literally at the end of his driveway. It's not like he has to travel down the road 10 feet to do it.
It don't matter. It's not his problem.
They're just complaining about it being done, and then it froze over and then like flooded his driveway and stuff. It's just like, dude, it's at the end of your driveway. Just clear it out. If you're concerned about, it takes 0.2 seconds to just run your snowblower over it, or like take a shovel to it. If you're concerned about your property and stuff, like, just do it.
Or you shouldn't have trees in the area then.
It doesn't take long. Like, what do you? He's not running a marathon. He's taking like one shovelful and throwing it.
That could be the
into the
shovelful
pile.
that breaks the camel's back.
True. That is very
Yeah,
true.
but it's the same guy that's been complaining about all of the, like, our town just approved the ADU is what you're talking about, Phoenix. We're on a piece of property that's designated as a single-family house, adding a second property to it.
Wait, that's a thing up there?
Yeah. So basically, like, if
It's
you
all
have,
the rage
as long as you meet the requirements for like easements and all the stuff. So this guy has a single level ranch, but he's on like 1.5 acres, and half of his property is not usable because it's woods. So he's been waiting for this thing to get approved so he can clear that section and build a second rental property on it.
Oh, I
Which is
don't
gonna
like
be a
that.
separate dwelling.
It's just, it's all over TikTok. It's like a new thing. It's called family compounds, where these people just buy a huge chunk of land and literally all the parents, all the kids.
Because this is the most equitable way to buy property these
Yeah.
days. It's insane. Like, they're forced to that, and it's like going back to the 1800s where everyone just had like, you know, parcels, and that's where like generational living happened. But it's also
This
like kind of like, so India does the same thing too. They very much have like in their core beliefs that like the family all lives together. And we've had like a huge influx of that population into this area, and that's part of the reason why this got approved, is because they're gonna do like multi-generational housing on
you
a
told
single
me
piece of
before,
land.
just say you had a 10-acre piece of land.
But it's not,
You could
yeah,
not-
but it's not 10 acres, Brandon. That's the difference. Like, huge difference. You're talking about 10 acres versus 1 acre.
Okay,
10
fine,
acres, you can
one
spread them
acre
out.
then.
Dude, 1 acre's, dude, like, I can
You can-
literally
so
throw
you're
a
telling me-
baseball from one side of an acre to another.
So you telling me you can't put 2 houses on 1 acre?
No, now they can.
Before, I mean.
Yeah, no.
What? As far as
No,
I'm
because
aware,
you
that's
own
not
the
a thing
property.
here.
You can't put a separate permanent residence
Why?
because it's zoned as a
It's
single
designated
family.
as single family dwelling.
Yeah.
As far as I'm aware, that's not a thing here. It's literally just a
Well, you
residential
probably have, like,
area.
Yeah, but it's probably a commercial too. You have businesses, so
Yeah,
like,
right.
you literally live next to
Power
a
line.
commercial business.
Yeah, it's a residential property.
Yeah, but it's also zoned. Yeah, your property is residential, but you're not zoned for residential. You're obviously zoned for commercial and residential. Otherwise, they couldn't have a business there.
He's in the outskirts of where they just don't care, really, to be honest.
I'm
It's
going.
probably not enforced because it's like a township. It's not like it's like barely incorporated.
But as far as I know, I can build a house right now.
Because they're not checking, because your neighbors aren't asking and stuff, because you're so far apart from your neighbors. Here, like,
Now, if your neighbors had a problem with it and they took it to the city and you just not
right.
allowed,
Let's put it this
they
way.
could
Yeah.
step in.
Let's put it this way. I'll give you two examples, Brandon. First, my parents' house. They're on a quarter of an acre. Right? Their next door neighbors tried to put in an ADU, which is like a separate living quarters there, but they tried to pass it off as a shed, but the zoning requirements like made that a problem because they were making it 2 stories and it didn't meet the easement requirements, which has to be like 6 feet off of the property line. So my dad actually went to the committee for that and protested it, citing those things, and they turned it down. So he couldn't do that.
So, like here,
But what he did is he bought a camper and put in a second driveway that met the easement requirements and put the camper on my parents' side of their property. So that's how they dodged that one.
so
But
here,
it-
like my brother used to rent it was a garage that the guy converted into like an apartment.
Yep.
And he was renting it out, and then the neighbors found out.
And they
it
reported
got
that shit
shut
real
down.
quick because
Yep.
he was registered as a business. And you can't have residential living on a business.
So it was like
So
building
I don't know what
a
your
rental
compound
home?
is,
Yeah, that's a
Brandon,
bit-
but I
don't know
guarantee
about
if
that one.
someone came in there to audit that, they would shut that shit down.
I mean, he might have that land, that building on as commercial, but the property itself.
No,
is
it's
residential.
the area. No. It's the area of town that is zoned. So
I mean, this
it's
all
not.
used to be
It's not by.
farmland here, so
It doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it used to be. It's what it currently is and what it's zoned as. So when I lived like closer to the city, I lived in a district that was residential and commercial, and that was the worst because around me, like I lived in a small residential neighborhood, but around that was just like big ass businesses. And it wasn't like office businesses, it was like commercial businesses. So we had like trucks coming down our road all day. Stuff because it was zoned as residential and commercial. So around here, it's not the same. It's zoned as residential, so what they're doing is changing the classification of like what is residential to allow people to build a secondary house. So let's say you had an acre of land, so long as you could divide the land equally and it met all the requirements, now they approved you being able to go build a second house on your property and do whatever the hell you want with it. And that's where I have a problem. I'm for that in terms of like you can build what it's your property so long as you meet the town requirements, you can do whatever the hell you want. But I have an issue with what this guy was doing in terms of like building a second separate facility and using it as a rental property.
Yeah, that's where I'm like, yeah, that's a bit.
That's where I draw the line. Like, no. I mean, he's going to get effed
In the age.
in so
I mean,
many
is he
ways
doing
on
proper
taxes.
paperwork and shit?
Yeah, no, he's doing it right, but the way that it works out is because, like, from the town tax perspective, like, when you get your property assessed, it's going to go up so much. Like, his taxes are literally going to double.
So, I'll tell
Because they look at that as like a separate piece of property, like the assessment value is going to go up by the amount that it costs to build the structure. Because his land, like he owns land, right? So they can't reassess based on land. They assess on land and structure. So now that you have two structures, they're going to assess that as a much higher value, so it's going to go up. So this dumbass didn't think about that. Because he's been like overtly like racist and sexist about the people that he's looking to have at his place. Yeah, like on Facebook.
Women only.
Oh, he's like, they both need to have college degrees, and like they both need to be making like a certain amount of income.
How's that racist and sexist?
It's not really.
He at one point he actually did say the whites.
Oh, okay. The reverse racism. That's not a thing. So
Oh, so yeah,
Indian
that's not
guy.
a thing.
He's an Indian guy.
No, so that's the other thing it doesn't.
Well, no,
Okay.
the other thing is that like you'd think that they would use it as like a family, but just like I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not even cool with it being like in town. Like
Yeah,
when I mean in town, I mean like city limits. Like outside city limits, that's cool. Like if you want to build, you got
we just had an election.
room, go for it,
We
but-
just had an election this week, and like all the surrounding towns from us, like literally every town that surrounds us, shit you not, is approved for dispensaries, and that was on the ballot
What's up, Tyler? How
to
you doing,
allow
man?
one in our town, and they turned it down. And they're like, "Oh yeah, you can just
you go or dollar
you can go a town over and you can get it, or like you can go to this town and you can get it. So like, why do we need it here?" And it's like, get with the
Exactly.
times. Just allow it. Just allow it. Like, yeah, the tax revenue, like essentially 99% of it goes to the state, but it does allow for like 5% of total revenue, not even net revenue, total revenue to go to the town for tax breaks. It's like every single town around us already does it. Why are you guys so dumb? Just let it happen. There's
is
only
your
so many
town
commercial.
a big town versus the ones around the area?
So
I'm just asking.
no. I'm trying to figure out how to explain it. So like that place next to us is like a full blown city, like
Okay.
with God. If you ask me, I think it's the worst city in the state in terms of like poverty and crime and just shit people. I think it's the worst. Unfortunately, I live next to that. But if you go like south of us, that's a nice town. If you go west of us, that's a nice town. If you go north of us, that's a nice town. All nice towns. But they all allow it. They all have approved it. And they're doing well.
I got a question for you when you're done. Sorry.
No, I'm done.
Okay, so how do you pronounce Peabody?
Peabody.
Okay. All right, I was
No.
wondering. We were
I grew
doing
up
our
10 minutes
research.
from there.
Huh?
I grew up 10 minutes from there.
When we were doing our research, we come
I'm
across
from the
the
North
video,
Shore,
and
kid.
he called it Peabody. I was like, "What the fuck did he just say?"
Yeah, it's Peabody.
And then I looked at it in the map. I was like, "That's Peabody.
Yeah, it's not Peabody.
That's
It's
Peabody." Brayden, how
Yep.
do you pronounce Peabody?
Not going to even try it.
It
I'll just do it.
Peabody.
Type it out.
I mean, what's silent? I mean, the question.
There's nothing
No,
silent. I'm just asking.
You
just
read
general
that
question.
word. You see that word. How do you pronounce it?
What was it? PEA what?
PEA
PEA
BODY.
BODY. So like P, like a snap P, and then like body. Yeah, put those together.
Oh, thanks for confirming. All right.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's just, I mean, it's the same way as, like, how would you pronounce, like,
I think that's
what we
where
call
the wife, or where the hotel my wife was looking at was at.
yeah, Peabody? Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense if you're trying to go to Salem, for sure. Peabody's the town over. Then you just have to go down Route 1 for that. It's actually a good place to get a hotel.
That's where she was looking, so I guess she was looking in the right area.
Yeah, you're not going to find shit in, like, Beverly, so you want to look in, like, Peabody, Danvers. I'd suggest Danvers over at Peabody, actually.
I think that was the other place she was looking at.
Danvers has, like, a Marriott, I think.
But we're the kind of
Okay.
people, like, we wanna
That one's actually pretty good.
look at like video reviews of places before we go, and like the
No.
only videos you find on YouTube in these places are elevator videos. It's like
Yeah,
that's
okay.
a bit weird.
Do the Danvers Hilton. Look at that.
It's
And I would suggest staying there. It's a little extra money, but it's definitely worth it.
That's probably going to be like a couple of years down the road, a solo trip, just the two of us, after our kids out of the house. 'Cause that's the main reason why, because she was like putting up a big stink. So, like, she didn't want to go do anything in Salem. She just wanted to go to Philadelphia, and we're just like, okay, well, it's probably
Go to
going to be.
Philadelphia.
Oh, we are. We're gonna. That's not the right field. We're going to. We're gonna do the Red Panda experience and all that. So.
Oh,
As much as we
man, that was
wanted
like
to-
one of the biggest heartbreaks that I ever had was like the first time they actually got to go see red pandas was at the Detroit Zoo, and they were in because they were breeding.
That's the same way we went to DC. The last time we went to DC Zoo, we went there just to see the damn pandas, and they were.
It's like,
one was
you
pregnant,
sons of
so they were
bitches,
inside.
I've literally seen so many videos of red pandas and how awesome they are, and how I could just do my best to just take one home as a pet, and they're just in for breeding, really. I was like, yeah, there's got to be one out here.
Oh, we saw them at the.
You walked around the whole
Knoxville Zoo,
thing,
and they are
nothing.
adorable. So that's my.
Have you seen the real? Have you seen like regular pandas?
No, that's what I just said. We went to the DC Zoo.
I thought you were talking about red. I thought you were talking about red pandas.
We are.
I was talking about regular pandas.
Oh no, I was talking about red pandas, regular pandas.
Oh,
We went
no,
to
no,
the
no,
DC
no,
Zoo
no.
to see them, and they were in for one of them was pregnant, so they had them
Oh.
inside. Red pandas we saw down in Knoxville Zoo. They're adorable.
Oh.
Like they are the
Yeah.
most adorable animal ever, and it should be totally allowed to have them as pets. Just saying.
Yeah.
I'll take
I
that
think
risk.
Those over. So I feel bad for like sugar gliders because, like, the ones that have them as pets are just awful. Like sugar
I
gliders,
used to have one.
dude, they're
A couple of them.
nocturnal. Like, leave them alone during the day. They don't like light.
You know, one person I was really close to had a couple of them. It's kind of cool as an animal, but
I mean, yeah, it's cool as an animal. I'd take that. I'd also have a bat as a pet. I think that should be normalized. I
No.
think that's awesome. What? Dude, they're like... Outside of like getting eggs from chickens, it's like the same thing as a chicken.
no.
And you can let them free range. Like, they'll come out and they'll come back so long as they
Yep.
have a good home.
As long
like,
as
you
they
can
have
just-
what they need, they'll come right back.
Mm-hmm. You can just give them a house off your house.
I mean, at that rate, you can just set up a bat house out by the corner of the property.
Well, then I'm gonna need the Batmobile. It's gonna be a whole thing.
Yeah, in the cave,
Yeah.
the suit.
Yeah.
He's gonna have to take his parents in a dark alley and let them die.
Like, I already got the financed thing down, so we're good.
Gotta find a dude named Alfred with an accent.
Yeah, it's gonna be the whole thing.
Yeah, it's can't just set up a pet house.
Yeah, but it's no different than like an owl box. Which, like, trust me, if I set up an owl box here,
Oh, BFR, how are you, man?
it would be occupied within like an hour of me putting it up.
I don't know if I
Like
talked
that.
about it or not. We went on
That shelter would be sick.
we went on a walk in the free county park here, and there's a split off where you can go deeper into the woods. And we were walking, and we heard this noise, and we happened to just look over, and just right across from where we were standing, there is just an owl sitting there staring us down. Like, that's the first time I've encountered an owl out in the wild. That's crazy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's super rare.
that's
You'll
cool.
hear them every now and then, but I've never actually seen one out like in the wild. That was crazy.
Yeah, where I grew up, we had like these trails and stuff in the woods, like walking distance from our house. So you'd like walk the dogs through the woods, and then you just hear like, "Hoo-hoo, hoo-hoo," and then I just look to see where it is, and like sure enough, it's just like an owl, just like sitting on a limb, hanging out. I actually had that the other day. I think it was like Monday. It was warm. Yeah, so I was like out on my deck. It was like 5 o'clock. I started hearing owls going. I was like, oh, I wonder if there's one near us. And like sure enough, in our tree that I want to get rid of, this thing owl chip just hanging out there. It's like, woohoo, woohoo.
Me.
Yeah. That was pretty cool.
But, so back to we're going to go do the Red Panda experience, which is not as cool as other Red Panda experiences, like where you actually get to go in and like feed them and stuff. But you get to get closer than what you would.
Even then, like you get to feed them, but like you don't get to feed. You don't get to like hand feed them. That sucks.
Oh,
To use,
I mean,
like,
you get to eat
tongs.
them. No, you get like a little stick, and they eat it off the stick.
Right? Yeah, that's not the same. They were doing that at the Detroit Zoo with the giraffes. They had like the giraffe feeding station, so you had to go up like 2 flights of stairs to do it.
Oh, they have it at the state fair where you can just buy carrots and just, like feed a giraffe. Here.
Don't placate
Yeah.
to that. Don't give in to that. Give them none of your business.
It's a circus.
Right. Don't support that.
Support feeding animals?
No, they're treated like shit, dude.
Fair, but
No. Like,
Not the worst thing out there.
I feel like they're
it's
treated
the
better now
legal
than-
version of animal abuse. Like, their lives suck. At least the zoo gives them, like, some semblance of life. It's not great, but it's, like, better than a zoo.
I know I'm a really boring person,
I mean,
but I only ever been to
better
the zoo once, and that's
Sorry,
twice.
better than a
technically.
bear.
Yeah, Brandon, you're boring. We could not get along. If you don't want to go hang out at a zoo, sorry. You're,
Dude, I love zoos. I
Same.
love zoos.
Yeah.
like anytime we go
Walk around,
somewhere,
look at
zoo,
animals.
aquarium, we gotta hit it up.
Yeah. So I was telling my friend the other day, because they went to the New England Aquarium with their kid. And the kid's like 3, something like that. And I was like, yeah, I used to like going. Like I would love to go to the New England Aquarium. I hate it because some of the effing kids, they're like up there staring at everything, so you can't see. I'm like, I know that I'm in my mid-30s, but like I equally want to see. But if I push little toddlers out of the way, like I'm gonna look bad. So, like I can't do that. Like I'm equally as interested, but the fact that I can't push the kids out of the way, like, go see everything.
I mean,
It renders
that.
the experience useless. Like, I'm not gonna go.
That's the benefit of having kids of your own. Like, you can push those kids out of the way so your kid can see. And you can
Right.
see
So I
along
made
with
a
them.
deal. So I made a deal with my friend recently. It's like anytime you
just
go
there,
to
even.
a zoo or museum or something like that, like you invite like me and my wife so we can tag along.
It's been over.
So like obviously
15
that's
years
a
since
deal.
museum.
And I love museums.
Same Z.
They're
What? Man, I spent the first time I went to the Henry
I've
Ford
yet to be to
Museum.
the Smithsonian, and I really want to go. I have not
First time I
been
went to the
yet.
Henry Ford Museum, they showed like early like harvesting equipment when you first walk in. It was like everything farming, and it went from like the horse-drawn plows up to like the first combine to like everything
Brandon?
in between that, and they had all that shit, and I read every plaque, and I read everything. I read every plaque in that
Since you've been
freaking
down
museum, dude. I was there for 5 hours. My brother hated me. He was outside like ripping butts and like sneaking like nips. It's just like I can't do this anymore.
Brandon doesn't know what it means. He thinks you're talking about nipples. He's talking about alcohol, Brandon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I figured. Since you've been down to Pittsburgh, have you been to the Carnegie Science Center?
I've been to the Carnegie Science Center,
I've been there once.
and
on a field
that
trip.
place is super cool.
I went through the sub that they had there. That was cool. But
They have
I've been there once and that's it.
pretty cool exhibits.
Brandon, you just gotta find a museum that interests you, like a train museum.
There's none around here unless you go.
Dude, go to the Henry Ford Museum.
Altoona has a
Dude,
train museum, do they not?
dude, how far is it?
Altoona.
How far is it to
You live near
Detroit?
Altoona?
Dude, drive there.
It's like an hour and a half one, but wait, maybe it's two and a half.
What?
It's an
That
hour
takes.
and a half one way.
Yeah, that's how
That's a
long it
day
takes to
trip.
get to anything good around here. Like you got to drive an hour and a half.
Okay, an hour and
Hey, how about-
6 minutes.
Anytime I want to go snowboarding, I have to drive 2 hours, 3 hours.
Lame. I just have to
Not
drive
that bad.
45 minutes.
You don't have mountains in Pennsylvania. I'm
Seven
sorry, you have
Springs.
hills. You have ski places, but you don't have mountains.
Damn, shots fired.
You have hills.
Ooh, shots fired.
What's your tallest one that you have? That you've been to?
6,208 feet in New Hampshire. If you want to talk about the tallest mountain that I've been to,
In New Hampshire, not in Colorado's.
I was gonna say no. You're gonna have to one up that with Oregon.
In your state that you've been to, what's the tallest ski?
Well, I've been to those days.
In your state?
In my state,
Yeah. What's the tallest one you've been to?
my state only has the Blue Ridge Mountains, so probably 4,000 feet.
I'm from Delaware. We have cornfields and beaches. So I'm out of this conversation.
Okay, so it's two. So
Dude, you're like
4,000
barely a
feet
state.
for me.
Hey, we were the first state. That's all that matters. It's
First,
like
yeah,
that
we're
Ray
second.
J
Claim
song.
to fame, and I think the nation.
It's like that
regrets
Ray J song. I hit it first. All right.
Right, and I think the nation regrets that. It's like, ah, shit. This is what we have to stick with. Why couldn't you fuckers like moved up like 20 miles north? Actually done this shit in Philadelphia or Massachusetts, which should be the first state.
but you're not. Delaware is. Suck it.
Yeah, and the only thing that you're known for is just like business registrations.
Hey,
that's it.
Some of the biggest companies in the world are headquartered here, alright?
I think Delaware's
Yes.
better than New Jersey, just saying.
Phoenix purely by P.O. box, alright?
Hey, it's all that matters.
Just everyone registers in Delaware. That's it. That's it. It's not known for anything. It doesn't have any teams. It doesn't have shit. It's just a triangle.
We got popular beaches. We have like the second gayest beach in the United States, alright? If I remember correctly, it was either second or
The
third.
whole state of Delaware.
No, in the whole country.
Yeah, it's the
Is
whole
that
state.
It's like second or
Brag
third.
about.
I
Yeah,
mean,
because your whole
it's a claim
state's
for fame.
beach line.
We were in
And
we
it's
were in
all
Viva La Bam.
equally as gay.
We were in Viva La Bam heavily, you know.
Neat.
Yeah, I'll say it.
Been Jackass. He gives a shout out to Rehoboth Beach and in Jackass 2.
Listen, Rehoboth Beach is nothing special.
No, it's not. Other than being the second or third gayest beach in the United States.
Dude, why would you be proud of that?
I went to Delaware Beach, went to Dewey Beach, and I was like, like that's it. That's what you're known for.
Yep.
Oh. That and LLCs.
Yep.
That's it.
And
So, you
tax-free
know,
shopping.
For the first, like,
Well, that's the only reason why the LLCs are in your state.
And Joe
Yeah.
Biden.
I wouldn't claim that to fame.
That's why I'm claiming the gay beach over Joe Biden.
Yeah. That's not a claim to fame.
He's not from here. Technically, he's from Pennsylvania. Okay. So
well,
we got
technically,
stuck with him.
Pennsylvania
Oh, and
has-
good scrapple. Good. We're known for good scrapple. All right.
You know it.
Shit.
Yeah.
Well,
I've
Bray,
been to
you're
a
from
bunch of
you're from
breakfast-
Pennsylvania. You're from
No,
Pennsylvania.
I've been to a bunch of breakfast places
And
in
Scrapple in
Delaware,
Pennsylvania
and not one of the
sucks.
places had Scrapple. So,
Not a lot of restaurants here sell scrapple.
yeah.
You-
Actually,
you
I
went
would
to
like to point out.
You went to you must have been like a uppity restaurant. You go to
Nah,
a
I'd
diner,
like to
you're
point
gonna
out-
get scrapple. Anyway,
I've been to diners because it was cash only. Been to
Wait, where?
diners in both Dewey Beach.
Oh, I thought he said Dean Diners. I was like, okay.
No,
Anyway, I will have
and
one
they
up on
did.
you guys.
They did not serve that.
you're going to the wrong places.
My county's actually the free
I was
county.
there for a week. I went to like 5 different places, and
You're going to the wrong places.
none
It
of
might
them had
not be
Scrapple.
as popular at the beach. Go inland.
What, like 3 miles?
There's no way you could go into
to the other side of the state.
go in
like-
into Sussex County, go to a diner, and they not have scrapple on the. I can imagine that being up in northern, like Newcastle County, but in Sussex County, there's no way you're going to a diner in Sussex County that does not have scrapple.
You drive like 5 miles and you're across the state.
Not in Sussex County. Sussex County's wider than
Sorry, it's
where
like
we're
10
at.
miles. My bad.
Yeah, we're 5 miles. That's 10 down
Mhm.
there.
I know it's not
That's
big,
a joke.
but Indiana County is the Christmas tree capital of the world.
Yeah,
It's
no
not
one
true,
does real
Brandon.
Christmas
Everyone-
trees anymore. They
everyone
all do fake
claims-
trees.
Everybody claims that they're the Christmas tree.
It's kind of like
capital
the
of
best
world.
coffee in
Like
New York City.
stats.
Everybody has it.
Yeah, like stats, bro.
700,000 trees.
That's nothing.
Does the tree that goes in up in what's it, Rockefeller Center come from there?
Did it come from
Mm-mm.
No,
Delaware this
there's
year?
not.
Nope. Came from Massachusetts this year. Bam.
This fucking guy.
Mm-hmm.
Still
what
not
I
the
do.
first state.
I want that
Did you
first state
there,
there.
kitty cat? What number are you?
Massachusetts, 6.
Damn, even New Jersey beat you.
Mm-hmm.
New Jersey has to copy us at everything we do. They're like, well, if Delaware's doing it, we're doing it too.
Yeah, but listen, the the way that y'all chose your states, like Delaware and New Jersey are the dumbest looking states.
I agree with that. Delaware should be the entire peninsula. That was the dumbest thing ever.
I personally believe that Massachusetts should include Rhode Island, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and Maine. I think that should be a state.
That's just too big of a state for the East.
No, it's
You want to be like Texas?
Maine's too big on its own to be a state in New England. It should be made of like 4 states if you want to break it down by like geographic region. But like, what would northwestern Maine look like? A bunch of fucking hillbillies. You name me one thing that comes from northwestern Maine.
Northwest?
I couldn't tell you anything that came from Maine, to be honest with you.
Trees and truck, semi.
A lot of trees. A lot of trees.
No,
It's mostly trees, but that comes from northeastern Maine. All the trees. Northwestern Maine, on the border of like New Hampshire and Canada, there's nothing going on up there. I would actually vote to like unincorporate that and like possibly give it to Canada.
Oh, we'll be getting it back in a couple of years anyway.
Yeah. Comes with the Greenland Treaty.
Yeah.
We also just take part of Canada. Or actually just give it back to them. Like,
I
all right,
like
we're going
this,
to take Greenland,
like this
but
now.
we'll give you the northern half of Maine. Only the finest poutine.
Now we only want the finest. We don't want the other. We don't want the
Not
west side.
the Canadian. We don't want the Canadian poutine.
They've been polluted by California. We just want
Because
the good
tariffed as hell.
poutine on the eastern side.
It's been a long time coming since the eastern people could have some good poutine. And I'm just so happy that I can give that to them.
Make poutine great again.
The Canadian poutine sucks. It's the worst. It doesn't even, I don't even know where it came from, but it definitely wasn't Canada.
They call that poutine. That's not poutine.
And by the
I know
way,
poutine. I know the best poutine.
If you get poutine from Canada, you're going to get a 30% tariff on it.
And that poutine doesn't look so delicious now, does it? Well,
Yeah, that one costs 30% more. You might as well get your American poutine. That's so much better. It's the American way.
let's talk about China.
Man, I was okay with a lot of the shit that he was doing until today, and now
Because you put the 10% on everything?
no,
What did he do?
way more. Dude, the stock market took the 3rd worst hit in history
Yeah, I
today.
seen that on Reddit yesterday.
No, well, that was yesterday. This is today. Stock market dropped by 2,200 points today, so now it's at 38. This is the lowest it's been in so long, and the 3rd largest single-day drop in history.
What was such because of all the tariffs?
The tariffs. Yep, everyone sold everything because they assume that like for like imported goods and stuff like that. So like one of the biggest concerns is like Nike, where they have everything produced in Vietnam or like overseas and stuff. Now they're going to be tariffed for that. That now it's impacting literally everything, all your clothing, all like everything. So you're going to see a 30 to 40% rise in the cost of shit in a month. So I actually told my wife today, I was like, where all the shit that like she was waiting on tax returns, which by the way, like for the first time ever, we got money back. It's fantastic. we've owed every single year since we got married, and I'm like, I don't understand this. I always got money back.
Okay, so I'm not condemning myself, but do you put married or single on your? I don't want to say
I run it both
single.
ways.
Okay, then.
So I do TurboTax, and I run shit both ways. So I do an entire tax return file jointly, and then I do an entire tax return file separately. And I see
Why two? Just curiosity. Just for the.
because I look at which one is gonna either get us money back or like is the least amount that we have to pay.
Because I've been told.
And then I change my filing status. We change our filing status based on that. So like last year, my wife was doing like some outside work, like consulting, and they gave her the money that she was supposed to get, but they didn't tax it beforehand, so she didn't get like a W-2 for it. So they just gave her a check for the full amount. So we had to pay taxes on all of that. So we owed a shitload of money. But I ran it both ways, as if like, you know, I had my job for so long, so I filed separately and I was getting a return. But her filing separately was gonna have to pay like a shitload. So then when I ran it, filed jointly, what she owed was a little bit less, so we went with that.
Because I've been told if you go single, you will actually get some back because they'll be charging more in the beginning.
So it also depends on what like your write-offs are. So they recently introduced like the new standard deduction, which I think is like $28,000 or $29,000. So they upped threshold for that stuff. So I think right now they're kind of in like a balancing period to see like how well that worked, and then if they're going to go back and reduce the threshold. But the minimum standard deduction is $29,000. So even with buying a house, I mean, we only paid 1 month of mortgage on it, but like the interest, even though we applied that, and then my wife bought a new car, so we applied the interest to that, and then our student loans, applied the
Did she
interest to
get a
that, and
Toyota?
all the deductions didn't even meet the threshold of the standard deduction. So then just like based on income and stuff, we got $450 back from Fed, and then like $300 from state.
Did she get a Toyota by chance?
No, Volkswagen.
Volkswagen, yes.
The Tiguan.
Volkswagen
20.
Tiguan, yes.
Volkswagen Tiguan SE in the midnight.
Ooh,
Blue
midnight. Oh, very nice.
I was looking on the secondary websites for just like cars that are in manual transmission. Because I got I zero clue. This is how well I keep tabs on my own personal finances versus my job. I got a letter from the registry, and once we moved, I signed up for like the daily emails, where it just like takes a picture of the letters that you're getting, so you know it's like informed delivery, so you know what you're getting ahead of time. Yeah, I just signed up for that, so I'm learning. But I saw something from Registry of Motor Vehicles, and I was like, oh shit, that's probably bad. You know, I don't give a shit about the mail because everything that's important I have online. So my wife's the only one that cares about the mail. But I was like, that's from the RMV, and it's to me. I'm going to intercept that one. So I picked it up. And it was the title to my vehicle.
The what? Title to your truck?
Yep.
So you actually haven't had a physical copy of your title?
I know.
Well,
yeah,
just paid it off.
I just paid it off. Yeah, I had no effing idea because I had it on
Same
auto
fucking
pay.
Facebook marketplace. Like,
Dude, well, it's a 2019 Tacoma with 48,000 miles on it. That shit's worth like 50 grand.
Oh, because you had a loan. You
I
financed or
financed it. Yeah, dude.
Through a bank,
It cost me
okay,
like 40 grand. Yeah, I'm not gonna finance. I'm not gonna pay for that in cash. I financed that.
What?
he only deals
so
with Facebook
I-
marketplace. He doesn't know how
I thought
work.
no.
I didn't know
thought
if you went through the
I thought I had a
motor
7
company
year.
or a bank to finance
No.
it.
I financed it through like TD Finance because I got a lower rate through them.
Oh, so you didn't go through the actual motor company then, okay.
Why the hell would you?
Because some
No,
force you to.
dude, you're getting scammed. No, they don't force you to. You're just dumb. Not you personally, just in general. If you go
Well, I
through
mean,
the,
some people would agree with you on that, though.
anyone that has any financial sense, yes, they would agree with me. Like, they do it in-house so they can get, like, they have their own in-house financing company so they get a kickback on the interest. So, of course, they're going to want you to go through their in-house stuff. So, all you have to do is tell them to, like, run it through external credit agencies. That's it. But most people, when they go buy a car and they get the financing rate, they're just like, okay, and they just let it happen. Like, no. So let's put it this way, like industry standards when I bought my truck, it was about 4%, 5% for interest rates in the industry. And I just walked past. My company has its own credit union, and they were advertising, like on their window, 2.5%. So when it came time to negotiating, my wife absolutely effing hated me because I was there until 1 in the morning negotiating, and we subsequently got pulled over leaving. But at the time, she absolutely hated me because I was like, well, my credit union is offering me 2.5%. And that's what I told the finance guy. Now, I'm not a member of the credit union. I just walked past that sign. And I was like, oh, 2.5%, that's cool. But like, I could go through the process and get approved for it through my company, or I could just tell the guy that that's the interest rate that I was approved for. And lo and behold, they came back through TD Finance, and they're like, oh, we can get you 2.5%.
noise.
Well, don't just sit there and take what they offer.
It's Brand. I don't think he's gonna have that.
Well, you also have to have a decent credit score.
Brand's gonna be like, he's gonna be forever looking for the next marketplace deal.
It sounds like he was paying interest rates based on whatever they said. before. No interest on Facebook Marketplace.
Exactly.
But you show up for a Crown Vic and you're going to get like a 99 Civic for $400 without the title.
So your SOL without title PA, so.
Yeah, I still
Your
don't
SOL
understand how
Your
my
SOL
brother
without
got
a title in every state, Brandon. It's not just PA. That was kind of my joke.
No, I mean there's workarounds, especially in Ohio, where PA is very red taped.
Right.
You gotta have every single piece of paper.
I know,
just to-
that was my joke. Is that you're going to show up looking for a Crown Vic and you're going to get a 99 Civic without a title.
I mean, I wouldn't get it.
And
down
because
to
I don't
that.
trust Facebook Marketplace because it's kind of a joke. Because it's the new Craigslist. Although people say a lot of awful things about Craigslist, I've had nothing but luck.
I don't care. Very close.
I've never really used either of them, to be 100% honest with you.
I've never used Facebook Marketplace ever. Because I don't want anyone that's friends with me knowing any of my transactions or anything about me.
How would they?
Yeah. Facebook doesn't publish it. Like, it's not like, hey, PJ's bought this Crown Vic. If you buy a Crown Vic on Facebook, that does not.
Oh, say, yeah,
Let's put
Facebook
it this way,
works.
a lot of people post stuff in like the town Facebook page
Yeah.
and stuff. Well, I'm not making comments in the town Facebook page.
Neither do I. What's
You
your
can DM
point?
people.
Yeah. What's
Nah,
your point,
still.
Cat?
Nah, I don't want that. I like the anonymity of Craigslist.
Okay, don't put your actual name and what's your issue then?
Can't do that on Facebook.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, you can post
You can tie it back to your
anonymously these days.
Oh, not in the groups that I'm in.
Some of the groups you can, some of you can't. I'm just saying you don't need to have your actual name.
Yeah, you do. They'll shut that shit down. I had a Phoenix Feather profile.
Yeah.
They shut
Yeah,
that shit
you
down.
can't.
Seriously.
Like you have to be
Yep.
yeah. So in the town Facebook page, you actually have to be a person. And unfortunately, I know people in this town, so I can't really just
Mock.
make wild statements. Otherwise, I already would have.
Interesting.
Yep.
Oh shit, it's after midnight, folks. Alright, well, that's gonna do it for me. If you guys did enjoy tonight's stream, do me a huge favor, leave a like down below. It does help me out so very much, and I do appreciate it so very much. If you guys do want to see future live streams, be sure to click that subscribe button.
So you done. You've been done.
Subscribing, and if you guys will be notified whenever I do go live, upload a video, click the notification bell. As always, guys, thank you so very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!